All right, stream is live. All right, last we left off, you had made your way out of imprisonment from this stagnant, stale basement of a hag's den, meeting new people, losing some olds, finding lost objects and reclaiming back to yourself, in this case that I'm discussing, an ear and an eyeball, which both seem to be fully functioning without having them attached. An eyeball that's hung around your neck, off a gem, and an ear floating in a jar of fluid. Hauling ass away from this tree that seems to take a life of its own, dangling bodies of hung individuals from the treetops as they swing down and become animated and attempt to strike and attack you. All of you hauling ass away for safety. Running for about an hour or so in an easterly direction, you find yourself in a familiar location next to a river at the base of the Whitestone Mountains on the western side. After a long rest, you also see throughout the night imageries of fires and chanting and drumming. A battle that ensued in front of you as well. You decide not to partake in this battle. However, try to make your way back to Beaton. You guys need to lower that volume. Making your way in the direction of Beaton, you come across this watering hole. What you remember was a meeting point for many of the hunters some 1 month ago when you first passed through here. However, its current inhabitants was that of Greenskin. Anahel, making contact with these Greenskins after a little deliberation and some talking, somehow began to start a inner squabble amongst their ranks, which was redirected to the attention on you guys as a firebolt careens through the tree line, showing them that everything was just a false. However, with the aid of two interesting goblins, you slayed the majority of this company, and I believe that's pretty much where we left off after a little bit of a conversation. After discovering and hearing some rumors and some identifying marks of the gray orc, or the white orc, you discover, based off of Bill and Ted, who inadvertently is no longer in your memories, but before he gets wiped out of your memories, they would have discussed that a raiding party was on the way. And that is where we start off, as you guys discuss amongst each other the happenings of what just transpired. Let's start off and get some shitty rolls out of the way. Let's get some perceptions going, guys. Let's dust off the dice.
I rolled a nat 1, but still got
10, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing.
I can't roll lower than a 10, technically.
Correct.
Pretty good.
Does it help that my passive is 19?
No. As you guys are deliberating and talking amongst each other, Kane, the ear in the jar shifts direction and leans up against the glass from where you hear this audio. The audio sounds of like mounted, something like a stampede is coming in your general direction as you hear the thunderous kind of thuds on earth from beyond the tree lines. Nothing is visibly inherent to you at the moment, but audibly that ear is like boom, sonar. And you feel that whatever it is getting louder, is making its way towards you, and will probably within visual line of sight in about 30 seconds. Can't hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yep.
Can y'all hear me
Yeah.
now? All right. Guys, we got to move. There's horses a-coming.
All right. go, guys. And then, are we? We're still close to like a tree line, aren't we? Which direction?
I'll even bring the map that that you were on just for sake of referencing. One moment here. Where did I put that map? So this was the last map that we used.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone streaming for everybody?
I have a stream up.
Thank you, sir.
I know we were all kind of clustered between the rock and the pond.
Correct. So you would hear the audio coming from like a northwesterly kind of area,
Coming from Beaton.
like west north. Yeah.
All right. Let's fall back to the trees where we left the horses and the goats, or the goat.
All right.
You all grab your nuts and begin to kind of jimmy yourselves to the south, diving back into the tree line where you guys started previously. Everyone give me a stealth check to represent your hiding.
Can I pass cast without a trace on everybody real quick?
Yeah, technically you got 30 seconds, so yeah, you do whatever the fuck you want.
All right. Let me double check I have a spell slot.
Sure, link it
Yeah,
too.
I do. So everybody has a +10 as long as they're within 30 feet of me.
Fantastic. And the lowest person was Fade. So
I
he's
have
14.
advantage on mine. I rolled a 31 total.
That's fantastic. That's more than enough. So I'll tell you what. When you cast Pass Without Trace, what does that look like for everybody else?
So whenever I cast it, like a low mist kind of comes up for just a second, and everyone feels kind of like they're like a warm foresty day and gets like a breath of like wildflowers and stuff. And then as we walk, anything that we break or grass that like bends over just pops right back up and mends back together. Because it says we leave no trail. But for just that split second, and while they're with me, they feel a little bit better, like that they're they got someone watching over them.
Absolutely. As you do so, and the high grass here is enough to cower behind, you have to willingly go prone to use the grass as full cover and complete invisibility. So even though your stealths are fantastic, you're more than welcome to take the prone action or posture to utilize this high grass that he indicated. Or you can choose to hide behind tree stumps, which only gives you obscurity from certain angles. So, your choice.
I'd like to try and go prone, like behind a tree stump, to where I can kind of look around it to see
Sure.
what's coming.
Absolutely.
I believe in going prone, getting behind a tree stump.
I'm gonna go prone as well.
Okay.
And also, I still have my I have Eric perched on the rock still.
And that's
Prostrate yourself before the wild mother.
and Eric's your owl, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you're just leaving the owl on the stone, right?
Yeah, he's just looking around.
All right. So, as you guys all duck down, actually, I didn't hear from Grognar. Are you also going prone?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, cool. So, as you guys are tucked in and the vegetation here, the flora over here is obscuring as you guys hide behind blades of long grass that seem to jimmy in the wind and kind of sway back and forth. Feeling confident in your invisibility at this moment, you would see a large gathering of greenskins as they charge onto the scene here. They seem to surround the watering hole. At a glance, you see at least a minimum of 16 greenskins of variety shapes and sizes as each of their wargs dip their tongues into the cool, refreshing pool. At your range, you can hear squabbling and conversations, but too far away with the wind to really make out any direct dialogue.
Can I try and see how they're equipped? Like if they look like they're scouting, out hunting, or like on fixing to go on a raid or
Sure.
something?
Since you're looking for something very specific, let's represent that with an investigation.
7.
A 7 is good enough to at least see that these guys are armed. They definitely have a very aggressive look to them. One would probably say, kind of similar to what Bill and Ted would have told you earlier if they didn't vanish, that they seem to be ready for battle or a raiding party of sorts.
Okay. These might be the... And sorry, Frog, for clarification, since I don't have Bill and Ted here to ask again, but whenever they were telling us about it, was Gorbolg, the White Orc, was he leading a raiding party to Beaton? Like he's bringing more troops to Beaton, or is he leaving from Beaton to go on a raid?
They didn't
remember what they had said.
Yeah, they didn't specify. I believe the last thing they had told you in that regard was that you should probably get the fuck out of here because there would be a raiding party here soon. And they had identified that Gorbolg, thank you, would be the one in command of this raiding party.
Okay. This might be the Outriders for that raiding party.
Yeah. And we are in no place to fight them.
I mean, we have the element of surprise. There's only 16 of them.
There's
We've
only
killed more.
16 of them. Think about what you just said.
We've killed more before.
16's an awful lot.
Thank you.
There were at least a dozen when we got ambushed on the road.
We can kill 16.
No one asked you, Grognar. Fucking traitor.
Do you have any? Greg, do you have any AOE spells?
Yes.
How good are they?
I can level a building.
Would they be able to hit every orc that's around the watering hole in one shot?
Oh, definitely not.
What about your fucking weird black magic stuff that falls out of the sky and incinerates stuff?
So I think I could invis myself and Grognar, and we can go up and then all cast an AOE simultaneously. But I don't think mine alone's enough.
I can do an exploding arrow that can take out some of them if they're packed in close, or at least damage some of them.
How big is the watering hole?
Let's say in the realm of maybe 20 to 30 feet, and depending on where you measure.
Are they completely around it?
So you see like 16 mounted orc, right, or greenskins in general, and they would be sporadically around. I mean, fuck it, I guess I'll represent it by just tossing them around. Hold on. So these are not to scale. This is just to give you guys a visual representation of what we're looking at, all right? So give me 1 second while I just put a whole bunch here. 1 second. So once again, this is not a legitimate thing. This is just a representation of what we're talking about here. So essentially, you have a bunch of greenskins, approximately 16 by your best guess. Now, each one of these greenskins are on top of a rideable something. It seems to be a big, hairy beast-like kind of situation. 3, 6, 9, 12. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing, actually, we'll go from there. So yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna ask, from Asher's background, would I know what those things are that they're riding?
Yeah, 100%. Wargs.
Wargs, okay. And I would know that they're pretty they can be lethal in combat.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they do have 16 wargs that they can ride. Those are pretty fucking lethal. I really want to kill them.
I could hit 6.
But we should probably watch and see where they go.
As you continue to sit there and kind of scout out, and I'm not putting the wargs on the battlefield, by the way, just assume that they're with wargs. Another one joins the watering hole. This one seems to march up very slowly on his warg. His warg is different than all the other ones. Looks to be very much weathered and battle hardened. This warg in particular also seems to have a very thick kind of a hide armor, leather armor kind of situation going, where the other wargs are more just kind of free and clear and just kind of rely on their own natural ability there. This guy seems to be way more adorned, and as he approaches, you hear a shout as they make room for this individual to get a drink. This warg, as it's drinking, the individual, or this white-looking orc on top, would turn around and holler extremely loud. Everyone give me another set of perception checks, please. It's too far away to understand, unfortunately, Grognar, because it's not... I mean, you would hear the shout of, hurry the fuck up! But outside of that, any other kind of just passing conversation wouldn't be all that legible. Your little ear and eye just kind of just move in his little glass necklace thing that you're wearing there, Kane. And you would see an additional grouping of, you see the high grass bending and swaying in random directions beyond the watering hole. And as the high grass gets cut off to where the watering hole is, you see a miniature kind of grouping of goblin make themselves visibly seen through the high grass. So essentially you have high grass and then shorter grass, and you just see goblin coming out of the high grass as if you were walking out of a cornfield, except for them it's high grass.
How many do I see?
At the moment you see like 4 to 5, but they seem to keep on coming.
Oh, and here come the god.
How far away from them are we, Frog?
Just make your best assumption. You're over here currently, just I don't know, whatever that measurement is.
We're over here where my green hand is.
Yeah, you're generally in the black circle, generally. And once again, we're not in combat, so this is not to scale, but more of an approximation.
About 200 feet away-ish, approximate, yeah. So, and it's all these trees that are on here, is that, like, there's a little cove of trees around it?
Yeah, this is more of a clearing. It seems to be naturally formed. There are a stump or two here from maybe a tree that was cut down for lumbering purposes at some point, but nothing that I would call profound. But this seems to be a natural wonder, probably a ground for wild creatures at once upon a time.
But there is that like ring of trees around.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I put a picture on the wall to give you a more of a feeling of what it kind of feels like in this general area, except a little bit more space around the pond in the middle.
Okay, 1 second. All right. Kane, I have an idea. Grognar, I might need your assistance.
What is your idea?
You, Eustace, and Dillinger. Sorry, Matt. Y'all stay here and don't fucking move. And while I have this ability up, me and Grognar try and get a little bit closer so that way he can overhear what they're saying. And since he speaks Orcish, I can understand what the goblins say. And we just try and get close enough to where we're within earshot of using these trees. So that we can figure out if they're coming or going.
Okay, don't attack.
No, I'm not as much as I want to.
I
have a little bit of control.
Ragnar, don't attack.
Who would I attack? If I attack now, it'll hurt you all.
It's the only reason why I'm not trying to put an arrow through that fucker's head.
Alright, that sounds like a good plan. Don't fuck this up.
Don't move, because once I get far enough away from you guys, y'all lose this grace.
Stop moving it in.
Alright.
I had to tell you about this one time.
We don't have time for your old stories.
Had to hide in its cave.
And Asher starts trying to sneak away with Grognar to move closer to overhear what the orcs are saying. Well, because as long as Grog's within 30 feet of me, we still have the +10 bonus.
How long does it last for?
It's a concentration up to 1 hour.
All right, why don't you try rolling both again?
I got one higher, 19.
Beautiful.
I
Beautiful.
rolled a 36.
Yeah, more than enough. All right, cool. And you guys, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding what your plan is. You're essentially making yourselves closer to get within earshot of just hearing dialogue.
Staying within the trees, though.
Absolutely.
To maximize coverage.
I'm guessing you're going to alligator crawl your ass through it?
Yeah, kind of like just on the belly, army crawling through there, staying low.
Absolutely. So why don't we do this? As you see Asher and Grognar belly crawl together, let's see.
Just the two.
Dylan, yeah, he just called you a fucking traitor.
Really thinking about slitting.
What did I do?
Dillinger, you see these two begin to kind of whisk away clockwise around the trees. What's Dillinger gonna do during this time?
Seeing how he had gone up into the fucking tree just for the point of view when we all went to hide, kind of being out earshot, he's just going to kind of sit quietly with his bow, just like strung but not and ready to shoot if needed, but not really sure what the fuck's going on, so just holding back.
And you're on your belly as well, right?
No, when you were asking what we're all doing, I said up to the trees.
Okay, so you're just hiding behind a tree?
No, he's
In a tree.
Oh, he's in the tree. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Misunderstood you. All right, cool. So you're just chilling and waiting.
Yeah, it's just kind of like out earshot and kind of go, okay, not sure what the fuck they're doing. This might go badly. Just going to get ready.
Absolutely. Fate, same question. You see these two kind of whisk away. What's Fate going to do here?
I'm just gonna keep low and stay hidden and wait for them to come back.
And by the way, by Fate, I meant Eustace. I apologize.
Yep.
All right. As you stay cowered in the ground behind a stump, Kane, you see your two cohorts also whisking away. What is Kane going to do as you, mid-sentence of your story, as these two just kind of move away from you?
Stay there.
I can barely hear you, Kane.
Just stay there, eyes locked on what's going on, making sure that nothing fucky happens. Kane's not gonna move a muscle.
I just imagine Kane using his eye on the amulet as like a periscope and has it just like popped up over a stump to like look. Yeah, exactly. Just looking around and then lowers it.
He can do that. He absolutely can do that. All right, so
Some Wile E. Coyote bullshit.
I got to make a few rolls here as you guys get closer.
I like how with Pass Without a Trace and Advantage, I turned into like a god.
Yeah, that's great and all, but wargs have keen hearing and smell.
I rolled a 36.
And your point?
I have a 19.
Wargs have... their passive perception alone is 14. That's awesome. All right, anyway, so let's see here, just a couple rolls.
I don't care if they detect Ragnar. It's his problem.
Okay. As you guys are alligator crawling towards the watering hole, trying to get closer, one of the wargs kind of goes and begins to kind of just sniff the air.
When I see that, I'm assuming Grog's following behind me, and I'll hold up a hand to like tell him to stop, and just watch that warg and see what happens.
The warg continues to sniff and begins to kind of twist away from the watering hole. The green skin on the back is fighting against the warg and trying to control it back to drink the water as the orc kind of smacks it on the back of the head a little bit. The warg reluctantly puts his head back into the water and begins to lap it up. It's at this point you get close enough to start hearing some dialogue. The dialogue itself is not needed to be spoken in direct verbiage, but what you would hear and gather from this range, and I'm going to go ahead and say you're about 60 feet away to be safe. So at about 60 feet away, you hear the white orc speaking about tactics and what the plan is. In a nutshell, the plan seems to be very much a green skin versus kind of a lizard folk situation. They speak about crossing the river at a certain location where an orcish bridge was made temporarily to cross. They seem to speak about a village or some sort of settlement that lizard folk had made, and that they're looking to strategically hit it and wipe it out and slaughter them all. And essentially, as he seems to be wrapping up that conversation, you would hear him basically make the command to move out. So during all that dialogue, you're more than welcome, Grognar and Asher, to do something.
Sorry, just one more time. Did he say when they were leaving, or if they're leaving like right now to go do it?
It looks like he was getting ready to make the command to move out.
Okay. And he didn't say how far away it was, like if it's a day's travel, half days, or anything like that, correct?
Correct. Nothing time specific in that regard.
Okay. Grog, did you hear enough for us to fall back?
Yeah.
The goblins were just trying to take bets on which warg would try and eat which one of them first, so.
They seem to be heading out to focus on a lizardman attack. So I believe they are focusing on that, as it won't be a quick battle. We could go to town.
Alright, let's fall back to the others. I still fucking hate you.
I don't.
Sorry.
As you make your ways back, give me another set of stealths, please.
Ah, 23.
29. I rolled 2 12s.
We get it. You have great stealth.
I just thought it was cool that I rolled double 12s, sir.
As you
Enjoy this.
You're
I'm a +9 to perception, and I can't roll above a 12. Okay.
So here's the deal. Okay, so I gotta find a way to give you disadvantage. All right, got it. All right, so as you make your way back, you're back, and you would start to hear these wargs ride off. A couple of the goblins, with their heads kind of facing down a little bit, begin to also head in that direction on foot. You are all in the same area in that black circle again.
Grog relay what they. According to Grog, because I don't speak Orcish, and the fucking goblins that were there were useless. They're going to raid a lizard folk village across a river that they've made a bridge to. It's going to be a long raid, it sounds like. So we should have some time to get to Beaton and do what needs to be done.
Okay.
Frog, did they notice the dead orcs that were around the watering hole?
I was under the impression you guys moved them all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Grog did move them into like try and hide them, I think.
Yeah.
I gave them funerals.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now with the braiding party gone, that
Kane,
means
you don't have to
Leopold-
actually whisper.
Let him RP. Let him do his thing.
I can barely hear him. It's my problem.
All right. All right. So with the orcs gone, with the raiding party gone, might have a chance.
Yes.
Let's go take a peek.
Yeah. We need to see what Beaton actually looks like right now.
All right. Frog, how long has my Pass Without a Trace been up?
Let's say start to finish crawling. It's been about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, we have about a half hour, 45 minutes of time left of being super stealthy. So Let's keep that in mind.
Do you remember how much further it is to Beaton from here?
From the watering hole to Beaton is half a day or a day's travel, I believe.
Or even less, depending on the route you take.
If we go in a straight line, it's like a half a day. But
yeah, I
we go
remember like
roundabouts.
we can make it from the watering hole to Beaton within a day. I remember that.
Yeah.
But
It took us longer because we kept running into shit like wolves and the giant snake and stuff.
Well, the snake was at the watering hole. We
Yeah.
ran into the wolves on the way to the watering hole, and its laser eyes almost kicked our asses. So
Yeah. All right, So the wargs and stuff had started moving off, you said?
Yeah, and then at the tail end of the goblin chain, you would see also start to trail off.
Okay. We could try and snag one of the trailing goblins at the very end to
no.
question. But also, we should hold off for just a second because sometimes they'll put a rear guard that follows about 5 to 10 minutes behind the main force. So just watch for a second. It's an actual thing convoys do, by the way.
You wait for an additional 10 minutes. Nothing happens.
Okay, we should be good. I don't know how smart your orcs are. But, alright, let's head towards Beaton and try and do like a... You guys think like a roundabout path back? Kind of staying to the side of the main trail?
Works for me.
Let's move out.
Let's go.
Alright, let's mount up. And Asher hops back onto Gordon Ramsay.
I got you. Just give me 1 second here.
Wasn't someone riding with me? Oh yeah, Eustace was.
I was, yeah. Do we have a free horse? Wait, no. Joffrey's
yeah.
dead, right?
Well, actually, since Anahel's not here, we do have a free horse.
You tell me, man. What do you want to do? To me, that's negligible, but yeah, it's fine. If you want to ride the spare horse, I'm okay with that.
No, I'll still
Grognar
ride
ride
with,
the pony.
Krognar will always ride the pony.
We could always eat the spare horse.
No.
Caleb worked so hard to get a horse, and we just eat it.
Together. What's wrong with you?
No, we don't.
Bill and Ted are y'all there. Yep.
At this point, it's about middle of the day. You know, the sun crests over the partly cloudy skies. It's quite lovely. It's like a nice spring day, you know. The green grass is very much kind of just billowing in the wind as you cut in and out of trees. Eventually, the tree line begins to become more sparse, and you know the grassy lands become more prevalent, at least to the northern side. The hills begin to roll and kind of rocky outcroppings here and there with trees that would litter about. You can choose to take a northerly or a westerly approach on this one here. So westerly is basically following the rolling hills into the main road, or a northern approach is more of an open field kind of junction, but that's up to you guys.
I have a question, Frog. Can we see a map of Beaton? Because I was trying to remember where the cabin is that we were staying at whenever we were there, thinking of trying to get to that since it's away from town and in this little like wooded clearing. That could be a good like base camp for us. What do you guys think?
I was actually going to suggest that if you didn't.
Yeah, because me and Kane would remember where it's at since we're the only ones that have been here, technically speaking.
There's your map.
Okay, and we're coming in from here where my orange hand is, right?
Well, that's what we're discussing right now. So essentially, and I'll change my pen to a color you can see. Fucking A, I did it again. 1 sec. So yeah, so you can either choose to come in this angle or this angle.
I say we come
This
in from
this
like,
tree line, by the way, just for clarity, it's not flat. I mean, this is obviously this map doesn't show topography that well, but this is very much all. This is like rolling hills and whatnot, but covered in trees.
And
Okay.
in the that's right. I ain't in the tabletop.
So we could come in from like a southeasterly direction or a east south. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Arcing this way to our cabin right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be our best bet. Oh,
Sounds like a plan.
all right.
Okay. You travel with the strategy in mind as you guys hug the rolling tree hills. And you take your time with it. You know what I mean? You're trying to make sure you're not seen, as you would see the occasional kind of warg rider just kind of rolling about, nothing fancy. But one thing that does seem to be prevalent, especially as you get closer to this town, and the sunlight begins to dim, as it does take you time to travel here. It's about dusk at this point. And although the sun is not all the way down, it's still very much lit, like a sunset kind of situation, but a dimmer dusk, civil twilight kind of situation. What you would see are these plumes of smoke that seem to emanate from the town in random locations. Perhaps a bonfire, perhaps a pyre. I mean, who knows? But the face of the town is very much changed since the last time you were here, which was practically a month ago. The face of this town is desolate and beaten. Beaten. Not the town of Beaten, but it has been beaten to the point of. I'll even set a mood picture here for you once. The picture on the wall would kind of represent a little of the feel of this town at this point in time. In this decrepit town, many of these buildings would be burnt out, hollowed out, a shadow of its former glory. You would also see a lot of the houses missing strips of wood and lumber, almost as if they were repurposed, as you do see these towers, I guess for lack of a better noun, guard towers of goblin make or orc make that seem to litter the, spots around the town, like signal towers or guard towers. You get to a point where there's a farmland in front of you. A couple of cow carcasses lie in the field. It looks like they've been lying there for weeks on end, as they're in process of decomposition, as crows would pick off the last remaining bits of flesh. Flies would be heard buzzing as you walk past. Stealthily, that is, as you kind of duck and weave between mounds of trees, rolling sand, dirt hills, irrigation ditches, farmland kind of stuff. Even behind the cow carcasses themselves. You get a whiff of rotting flesh from time to time. As you gaze upon the setting sun, the town begins to glow in fire from these pyres. What's up?
While we're riding in, can I try and do a count of how many guard towers there are?
From your direction, sure. I'll just give it to you because your pass is pretty stupid. So I'm going to say at a glance, you see at least 4 on the east side alone.
Okay.
At this point here, the terrain gets a little bit on the flatter side of the equation, and the hills become a little bit more difficult to pass through. On these 4 guard towers, you see torches kind of lighting up the inner sides of these towers, and you would see figures kind of walking in circles, kind of like they're on lookout. On top of that, in the fields, you would see torchlight moving around here and there, sporadically.
All right. Well, let's try and just take as wide of a path as we can away from, away from all that, but still towards our hovel thing that we're trying to move to.
Dylan's your fate.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Dillinger's in agreement. He's kind of just following suit here.
All right, Kane.
Yeah. Kane just kind of follow along with Asher.
And Grog. You there, Grog?
Forgot to unmute. Yeah, I'm following along and watching our flank.
All right, and you do so, keeping you're keeping just inside of the tree line, watching all this happening. One image that you do see at a distance, lit up by torchlight, you would see a situation that looks a little like this. Ooh, not that one.
Hey, Frog, what state are you located in?
Pennsylvania. You'll see an image that kind of reflects that of the picture on the wall. As you see an individual practically naked with a loincloth being drugged by the neck in a chain and collar, being pulled into the town. This individual does pull back a little bit as you see an orc kind of struggling to pull. An orc that's following suit, you hear the crack of a whip and a faint scream that just kind of billows through the night air.
Male or female scream?
Hard to discern from this range.
How far from the cabin are we?
It's been about a month since you've been here. A little bit. You gotta cut through the trees. It's kind of hilly. Your best guess is maybe, 30 minutes or so?
Alright. I'm just going to keep an eye out for anything and see if there's, like, any smoke or anything coming from where the cabin was. We did spend a few days there.
I mean, there's smoke kind of emanating from a lot of different locations here. It's difficult to identify if it's directly your cabin or whatnot. But as you push into the trees, everyone give me a perception check, please. This is a legitimate one.
Oh my god, I rolled an 18.
Nice. Eustace.
19, let's go.
Eustace. As you are kind of in the middle of the group, I imagine, and you guys are still on your mounts, correct? I mean, it's slow going with your mounts, but Eustace, you catch in the shadow of a little bit of a moonlight that just kind of peeks its way through the canopy. You see like a shiny thread just in front of Asher. Just in front of Asher.
Hold up, guys. You see this? And I'm gonna look at it closer and try to investigate what it is.
Absolutely. You tell everyone to kind of hold up for a hot second as you kind of investigate. You can't help but notice that this thread seems to wrap around a tree and goes up the tree stump. As you look further up the tree stump, you can't quite make it out because the darkness at this point has kind of taken over. Do you have dark vision?
I do not.
Do you have any way of making light?
I do, and I also have an owl. If the owl can see at night.
The owl's on your shoulder?
Yep.
As the owl peeks up, you see that this thread seems to be attached to some sort of a swinging log.
I think it's a trap, guys. We gotta be careful.
Yeah, good catch.
Do you attempt to disarm it, or are you just going around it?
Is the tripwire on the ground or like it high up in the air?
It's
like
like knee height.
Yeah, let's probably try and go around it. Because if we
Probably
disarm
leave
it,
the
they're
horse-
gonna know we're here. Do what?
Shall we leave the horses?
No, we just
that's-
dismount and carry and lead them around it off the trail. And just keep an eye out for more stuff. We don't want to lose our mounts.
As you continue to push forward, you come to the edge of your clearing from a very familiar cabin that you remember dwelling in. As it is dark in here, and the moonlight crests behind partly cloudy skies, you would see light flickering from the windows in this home.
Want me to go scout ahead since I'm kind of good at night shit?
You don't make any noise without knowing how many people are in this town?
I'm just going to look and see who's inside the house.
We'll wait here.
Any objections from anybody?
I don't have any.
Kane? Grog?
No.
Can Grognard see Asher?
I'm flickering in and out for your ability to see me with your dark vision.
Grognard just holds a thumbs up.
Alright. Yeah, I'll leave everybody, back into the behind the tree line, and start kind of sneaking forward, trying to stay in the dark, but getting a view inside the windows and stuff. See if I can see anything in there. You guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
I'm prepping stuff. Yeah, okay. That's perfectly fine. And this represents the road that goes out.
Orc's preparing to kill us.
All right, so go ahead and throw your token on the table, peoples. And we're gonna go
called
ahead.
it.
We're gonna go ahead and say this is north.
So we would be.
Yep, and this, yeah, exactly, in that general location, correct.
I was wondering why everybody else's tokens weren't moving at first, and then I remembered it's only me, Fate, and Frog in here.
I appreciate the extra assist, by the way. All right, Asher. So you see this general kind of situation here. Those rectangles on the walls represents windows, and they are, normal height, so you can look into them. That's perfectly fine. But you would see light, like I said, flickering, firelight flickering from within.
All right, and how much light does it cast outside the windows?
It's not entirely too bright, but it's normal nighttime light for this era.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to figure out how close would I be able to get before I wouldn't be invisible in the dark with my Gloomstalker.
Let's just say if you stand within a 5-foot area, you'll be visible.
I'm here. I'm fine.
Yes.
Okay, that was my question. So yeah, I'll just kind of make a slow arc around each of the windows to try and see inside of them.
Sure thing. As you peer through the windows and kind of do your situation and your scouting. Let me lower this fucking music. This is too loud for me.
Bit too chipper too.
You said too chipper?
Yeah. I had it at 2%, and it was still pretty loud.
Yeah, me too. All right, so you would get a glimpse, Asher, of a couple of greenskins that seem to be inhabiting this location. The issue is as you're, because you're so far away from the window, you can't, put your fucking nose against the window to get a real good view. But at least in your scouting abilities, you at least count 5. And it seems to be a variety of either orc and or goblin. No sooner do you actually step in this general direction, you start to hear the sound of, as you look over your right shoulder, you see a stream. One second. I will draw it on the map. You see coming off of here a stream. If you could see color in dark vision, you would see a yellow stream.
Okay.
And that's all you see is the stream. You don't see through the wall, unfortunately.
There's no light, though, right?
It's dark in that area, correct.
I'm going to step around to, like, the corner and see what I see.
Grab his dick and twist it.
You see a very well-endowed orc currently peeing.
Is the front door closed?
Old dick twist.
The door is not closed. It is open, and the firelight does, radiate the 5-foot circumference thingy.
I am going to try and quietly, because my boots don't make any noise when I walk, and he can't see me as long as I'm in the darkness, move off to just to his side. Off to like right over here. And I kind of want to distract him.
The old dick twist.
In Goblin, I want to say just loud enough for him to barely hear it that he has a small dick.
Okay. You say that, and as he turns to look, the pee stream just kind of rotates.
And then I want to laugh. But make it sound like a goblin laughing. And then just keep moving around.
He pinches it and tucks it back into his trousers and begins to move in the direction that he hears you're speaking coming from. One second. Hold on. Just a moment. Where the fuck? Trying to find a fresh token for fuck it, I'll just use this one.
Use the old Grognar.
So as he kind of steps off, you hear him saying, "Who the fuck is saying that?" In Orcish, if you speak Orcish, that is.
I don't.
And then from inside the house, you hear, "What's going on?" "Somebody wants to get killed, that's what."
I'm just moving away, backing up, and just saying it again, just kind of quietly. Or now, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna move away.
Needle dick, needle dick, needle dick.
That's what I thought about. But no, I've done what I wanted to do.
All right. This guy is just he actually draws a sword and just kind of holds it. Every once in a while, the moonlight would glint off the blade.
I'm watching the door. Is anyone coming out?
You see a goblin in the door frame, basically shouting out towards the orc in Orcish speak. It basically saying, "What the fuck's going on? You all right out here?"
I say over to the goblin just quietly, "He's got a little dick," and then I just move again.
Okay. The goblin in the door frame. Hold on while I get a goblin token.
I'm trying to see if I can get the goblin and the orc to start fighting.
Wait, give me a fucking goblin token. Damn it. There, fuck it. I'll just use this one.
Use Ted.
The goblin kind of comes out. You hear him kind of, once again, speak out loud. "Quit your horseplay." And then as you say what you said, "You're right, there's something out here. What's going on? We might have trouble, boys."
And I just walk, stay back to where I can just see them. But I'm not going to say anything else.
So as they start to flood out, and I'm not going to use tokens to represent this, but you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 come out, and each one of them has a weapon drawn, just kind of looking around.
They did what I wanted them to do. I was just trying to get them all outside to get a head count. So I'm just going to watch them. And you said there's 7 of them?
That you can see so far.
Since they're all distracted outside, I'm going to go back up to one of the windows and kind of just peek in. Like just with like that half like one eye peeking through the window type thing, just to get a quick look to see if there's anyone else inside.
Absolutely. Which window are you going to go into? Why don't you rotate your hand over it real quick? Okay.
That one.
As you look into that window, the room itself, it doesn't have a fire source in there or a light source in there, but the door is open and the light radiates through the room out the window. But as you kind of peek into the contours of that room, there seems to be an individual crouched in the corner there. All you see is the glint of a chain hanging to the floor and seems to be tied to the bed.
With dark vision, can I make out any of their features to see if they're human? I assume they're human.
They don't seem to be orcish, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Fuck.
You know what? I'll even put a token on the board to represent that. All you, buddy. What are you gonna do?
Seeing the person in there, Asher's just gonna say a quiet prayer to the Wild Mother. Just Wild Mother, look after them. I'll be back. And I'm gonna go to one other window, like this window here, and see if there's anyone in there as well.
Before you move,
Yeah.
you would see a shadow kind of silhouette into this room with the individual as this orc walks into the room. And you kind of hear him. And once again, this room doesn't have a light source. The orc steps into the room, and I'll just use this orc token to represent it. And you see him close the door, and the room goes dark.
Let's sit there and get it. I really want to do something stupid. It's a glass window, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like thick glass, or could I put an arrow through it?
You're lucky enough to even see through clearly. Glass in this era was not as clear as today's standards.
No, I'm saying is how thick is the glass though? Like, is it thin or is it like Coke bottle?
Let's go with a little thinner than Coke bottle. It's not bulletproof, if that's what you're trying to get at.
That's what I'm trying to ask. Would a longbow be able to put an arrow through it in one shot?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, longbows. The arrows from longbows
sure.
pack a punch.
Well, I know they do, but I don't know what the rules are in D&D, because a longbow also isn't a dexterity-based weapon.
I don't think there's a rule for shooting through glass. I think we're just gonna have to use logic on it.
That's left up to the DM's purview, and DM said he'll allow it.
Fuck it. No, I need to be smart. Asher and Josh both are morally torn right now because I really want to kill this fucking orc, but I also know I need to be smart and get back to the group.
You can make.
Well, what would Asher do in the heat of the moment? No, no, it's
He would be torn like I am. Of like, I could put an arrow through this thing.
Hey, you could break Asher could break the window and at least draw the orc out of the room. Like if he threw a rock through it.
Are there any rocks?
forced combat.
You're in the fucking woods. Yeah, there's rocks everywhere.
I'm gonna pick up a rock throw it, but like I'm gonna throw it off this direction to try and distract the door. So that way the orcs that are outside kind of hear it.
Sure.
The sound of the window breaking if you throw a rock through it.
I know. I'm trying to distract them to see if maybe they'll holler and get the big fucker, the guy that's inside, outside.
That's why I'm saying throw a rock through that window.
I don't want them all rushing back inside, though.
Well, they'll see what's going on.
Look, just let the sneaky wannabe rogue be a wannabe rogue.
Fuck you guys. See if I cast Pass Without a Trace again.
Look, I think you're doing a good job.
Asher.
But yeah, I just want to try and throw a rock.
Well, hold on. Before you do that, you receive audio in your head. Go ahead, Grog.
Do you need help, Asher? Is something wrong?
There's an orc in a room alone with a human, but there are 7 other orcs and goblins outside.
How much do you like this pony?
How much do I like what?
The pony.
I don't give 2 shits about the pony. Just don't
Good.
get the goats or the horses.
Um,
We need the mounts.
I can walk. I'm the only one that uses it.
Fuck. Okay. What's your...
Um,
I don't know how the spell works. Asher's just been talking to himself like half the time.
well, I've been constantly casting message so we can keep talking.
Okay.
So I pull out I use prestidigitation. Smack the horse's ass and light its ass on fire using prestidigitation.
The fuck?
You can start.
All right. Someone call fucking PETA.
Prestidigitation.
Jesus. It's not what I was expecting.
Not what I was expecting either. I was like, they're like Grognar could do like if Grognar really wanted to distract him or draw the orcs to us, he could be like, he could yell, who a certain orc's name and that they have a deedle dick or something like that.
And then in Orcish, I shout, "They're coming from the west!"
Please hold. I need to look up a pony template real quick.
Yeah.
You have a mini already if you want to look at that. So I'm calling it now a spicy pony. And no, I will not change the name.
David Hasselhoof has been through a lot of shit.
Nice.
Don't tell John.
Okay, so yeah, where is that pony token at? Because I think it's relevant at this point. Okay, so why don't the rest of the party put their tokens where you feel you guys would be, and you would have to be within the tree line, so behind this white line, preferably within a square. Oh, that's right. Everyone else they're not even inside this or in here. So I assume you're streaming Fate. If anyone else has a rebuttal or a no, I don't want to be there, I want to be here, speak now, forever hold your peace.
I'll just speak my piece later.
Okay. As you smack the ass of this pony, it definitely does not do well as a fire gets lit in his ass. So the pony's movement is 40 feet. This pony is absolutely gonna dash because fire on butt. Roll me a D100, please, Grognar.
This pony figured out what happens when you eat Taco Bell after drinking nothing but tequila for 4 hours.
95.
Wow. 95 S45. Wow, that's actually directly, basically south. You smack this pony, and it jolts off past you into the tree line as you scream what you said. They're coming in from the west. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Clearly a startle happens. The fire kind of drowns out from the tree line, and not so long after, you would hear a snap and a and a neigh. A very loud neigh that gets muffled pretty quickly.
Oh no!
You know what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So as that happens, the individuals outside the house would clearly be alerted. On top of that, you see the door get kicked open, Asher, as you see an orc in the process of pulling up his trousers and jolting into this room here to grab his weaponry.
Awesome. I'm still invisible, correct?
There's no direct light source on you at the moment, if that's what you're asking me.
Yeah. Can I take a shot at a goblin?
Sure.
All right, I'm just trying to sow chaos, so I'm gonna shoot this little bastard right here.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna restart.
Does a 28 hit?
You know it does.
It's
Isn't
like
that
ass.
what we're best at? Chaos.
12 points of damage.
I mean, you instantly
Heads
drop.
up.
Go ahead.
Kane just dropped because he had to restart his computer. I just didn't know if you guys heard because it was real low.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard
No,
him.
I didn't hear him. You want me
Um,
to pause what I'm doing until Kane gets back?
nope. I am not stopping the game for a restart. So yeah, man. So you clearly drop that goblin.
Cool.
It's nope. Dillinger, you're up.
Oh, I'm up. Sorry.
Yes, you just saw Asher just basically blindside a goblin instantaneously. Didn't even make a sound. It just dropped.
Okay, one second. I gotta open up the stream a little bit larger on my end here. Sorry. I guess be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I guess I'll just move 30 feet up and take a pop shot with the longbow.
Absolutely. 30 feet up. Yep, this is basically your surprise round.
Shit. Rolled 20, refreshed on me.
That's right.
One sec. I'm waiting for it to load. Fuck. Or well, maybe not. I might be able to get it quick enough. Sorry. Come on, roll. Does anyone have access to my sheet out of curiosity offhand? I think Grug might. If you can do the packed weapon.
Asher and Casey both have access to your sheet.
Packed weapon, right?
Okay. Yep. And just pop 2 rounds at the closest orc.
Be the light crossbow, right?
Yeah,
fancy light crossbow.
Yeah.
Does he have advantage?
No. Not at all. I didn't officially implement the new crit fail, so we'll use the old one for now. So roll 3d6, Grognar, for...
Alright, Asher, you're the one who rolls for me now. Fuck Grog.
You are implementing the one with the Terran reality, are you, with the fucking black dragon?
So as you walk and you kind of, approach forward with your weapon drawn and you get ready to fire, your foot steps into a small gopher hole and it tweaks your ankle enough that for the rest of this battle until your next short rest, you have half movement. Damn gopher holes. That would take us next to Eustace.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a surprise round, so just a simple thing first, and then we'll move into initiative.
I have full movement on the tree line, I guess.
Yeah, the woods here are not too it's not too thick. It's enough to move freely.
It's my firebolt ring.
Like 100, 180 or something crazy. 120, yeah.
I'm gonna attack the goblin that's closest to me.
All right, get it.
Wow, another fail.
By the way, last night's table was ones central. There were so many ones that rolled. I was surprised nobody died. 3d6, please, Faith.
Sounds like Tuesday table.
With a 14. You know, it's dark in these woods here. What happens is as you're pushing through the trees, you push back a branch and it snaps in your hand and it whips you right in your eye. As you are fucked up. Roll a d4.
I love how we're all getting like actual injuries that are going to fucking matter right now.
For 3 rounds, all your attacks that have a dice roll attached to them are at disadvantage. Ouch.
Jesus.
Grognar, your surprise round.
I'm gonna launch. Since Eldritch Blast is 1 cast, do I get the 2 attacks?
Since Eldritch Blast is the 1 round. Link Eldritch Blast, I think it is a double cast per turn. Let me just double check. Spell creates more than 1 beam when you reach higher levels. Yeah, it literally says a spell creates more than 1 beam. So yeah, so that's 2 beams for you.
Dope.
The 16, absolutely. And who are you hitting? This guy right here?
Yeah, I'd aim for a goblin.
All right, the first one absolutely smacks for 9. How do you destroy it?
I'm assuming it's about to start saying something, so right as it opens its mouth, beam right to its mouth, blows out the back.
It absolutely does so. Your Eldritch Blast is not stealthy, as it does emanate a light and a streak that can be seen by the other 2, as this goblin gets decimated and blast to the ground pretty quickly. Is Kane officially back yet?
I'm back.
Beautiful. Kane, you
back in the call.
You have a basically a bonus round. You get 1 action.
Right. Oh, I'm trying tabletop right now.
That's okay.
Hey,
Someone actually hit?
George was able to join.
Nah, it's gonna kick him. He's at 0% with 1,000 ping.
Oh, see on mine he says 93.
Well, I've actually getting some stuff. But yeah, I think I'm about to get kicked, about to find out.
Yeah, you got kicked.
Okay.
Server says no. Not oh. Server says 404.
All right. Okay, so what is everybody else?
Can't hear you, Kane.
What has everybody else done so far?
Asher dropped a goblin with an arrow pretty violently. Grognar just blasted the back of a goblin's skull out. Dillinger twisted his ankle, and Eustace got whipped in the eye by a switch.
Okay, Kane will just draw out his sword, cut his hand on it, activate the storm, and he'll just come out of the forest and get up there with Asher.
Okay. As you do your 30 feet, 100%. Beautiful. Now we go into initiative, team.
You lose an HP for cutting your arm?
Did you say initiative, Frog? You broke up.
Yes, please. Initiative, everybody. And just for sake of time and simplicity, I'm just going to roll initiative on one of each, and they're just going to go out simultaneously for sake of simplicity.
Yeah, I need. Okay, there it fucking goes. Finally. Dillinger.
What battle system is this? We are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5e, and the program we're using is Tabletop Simulator.
Hey, Frog, can I ask you a rules question real quick before we get into battle?
Sure.
So with Umbral Sight, it says they can't see me if they're using dark vision.
Link
so
it.
would that classify? One second. Dark vision. Any creature relying on dark vision while you're in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see you. Would that classify for then whenever I'm making attacks for the invisible thing? Because when you're invisible and you make an attack, you get advantage every time. So would I have advantage every time I attack while I'm in darkness and invisible to their dark vision?
At third level, you gain dark vision on a range of 60 feet. You already yeah. Evading creatures that rely on dark vision. While in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision. See, but these goblins don't rely on dark vision.
But
if you're invisible, hold on, let me think here. You are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see you in darkness. Let me open up a character sheet real quick. 1 second. All right, so sell me on your argument again.
Since they're using their dark vision to see at night, and they can't see me in darkness because of Umbral Sight, with the rule, it specifically says I'm invisible to them. The rules for attacking when you're invisible are that you have advantage. So would I then have, anytime I'm attacking while I'm in darkness and they can't see me, would I then have advantage every time I attack?
Well, it sounds legit to me.
Okay. I wanted to ask you first.
I mean, yeah, because you're technically invisible, and invisible would always get an advantage on your attack. So I mean, yeah, that it sounds logical. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I wanted to ask first. So.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know that until like the other day when I happened to see a video and it was talking about attacking while invisible.
Yeah, no, that sounds legit. Let me just change the music, guys, and then we're gonna get this kill on.
All right, cool. Thanks, Frog. Sorry, I'm breaking your game.
I mean, he has to deal with two people that can shoot from 600 feet.
Gloomstalker and Rogue would be fucking disgusting at night.
All right, rolling initiative in 3, 2, 1. Looks like we're missing some people.
Oh, we forgot to put their initiatives in. I'm not used to being. I'm sorry. Hold on. What did Matt roll?
He rolled a 15.
Grognar, where's your traitorous ass at?
In the very back.
Oh, you got him, Fate? Okay, I've got Dillinger.
All right, everyone good?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 players and 3 different types of creatures. All right, Asher, you're up first, buddy.
All right. You said this orc was making his way towards the front door, right?
Yeah, he's like, if he had zipper on his trouser, he's in the process of zipping up his pants.
All right. I'm gonna move. Staying in darkness to right here. To where
Okay.
Trying to move to where I'm at the edge of the house. And then I'm just gonna try and shoot this orc first. Can I see him from where I'm at?
Yeah, the deck there are some obstacles, but you're a fucking sharpshooter, so yeah, I'm cool with you getting a decent hit on that guy.
Okay. And I'm still in darkness, right?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
All right, cool. I was just making sure, so I knew if I knew to turn advantage off or not. So does a 20 hit?
Yes.
All right. For 11 points of damage.
How do you kill the goblin? Oh, that's an actual orc. I'm sorry. 1 second. For how much damage? 11?
11.
Your arrow sinks in, and he actually spins and ducks down with a howl.
All right. The orc behind him right there.
Yep.
I'm going to put my Dread Ambusher attack into.
Okay.
For a natural 20, for a 29.
Yeah, how do you kill it?
He just, seeing that orc drop, he spins, looses another arrow, and this one just like, it kind of catches him like right in his mouth as he goes to open his mouth and goes, but glances up off of one of his teeth and just goes through the top of his head.
Absolutely. And with that force, it just kicks him back and he falls with a loud thud.
Old boy was about to take 5d8 damage.
Yeah, you can roll it if you wanted to see what your numbers would be. But in the meantime, would that be your turn?
I have one more attack.
Get it.
Jesus. I kind of just want to see what the attack would have been.
I'm back.
He'd have taken 18, 19, 21 points of damage. Jesus.
Yes, sir.
And you said this other orc is kind of ducked down in cover?
He got hit, and he absolutely took a free action and just dropped. Yeah.
Okay. Then I am going to take another shot at this goblin that's right here.
Get it.
Longbow, 27.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to use my Piercer feat to reroll the damage.
Yes, sir.
11 points of damage.
All right, how do you drop that one?
He sees him, just turns quickly, looses an arrow right through the chest, into the heart.
And once again, you hear a goblin howl as he falls. You see him kind of like on the ground, and after his heart stops beating, just kind of turns his head. Exhales one last time.
I'm going to move. I have like 5 feet of movement left. Just one step back.
All right. Would that be your turn?
Yeah, that would be my turn.
Eustace.
I'm going to step out from the tree line and I'm just going to bolt with. I'm pretty sure it would be disadvantaged anyway because it's dark, but I'm going to attack this orc right here.
It would be disadvantage. Absolutely.
With a 10.
10 does not do much, but that firebolt creates a light source that just whips across and past this goblin into the tree line in this general area. Obviously, the explosion is not that big, but you get what I'm trying to do there. Nevertheless...
Yeah, it's black. Yeah, I'm just going to jump back.
Fair enough. Shadowy fire. All right, next up is Dillinger.
I'll move up my 15 feet, I guess, and take a shot at the closest orc I can see.
You got it.
And then, Asher, if you can do the 2 rolls for me, because I don't want another crit fail. Thank you.
I'm gonna kill
the fancy. Yeah, it's the fancy crossbow. Should have a packed weapon for it.
Packed weapon. All I see is the light crossbow.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Do you want to cast any spells or anything like hex or anything like that before I shoot?
Nope.
Okie dokie. 21.
Your bolt absolutely smacks into this orc's body.
Yep.
10 piercing.
With a whistle and a thud, this orc Question: you have dark vision?
Yes, I do.
Beautiful.
120 feet of it.
You motherfuckers. All right, cool.
Yeah. And then
he will
I guess
also, he'll under reaction of that, he'll drop to a knee and kind of take a low stance as he pulls out a bolt from his shoulder.
I'll take a second shot at him with the second round I got for it.
You get it?
All right.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
that was my own character sheet.
Oh, I'm about to say, holy shit.
No, that was Dillinger's. Sorry.
Holy shit.
26.
Roll damage.
Another 11.
Yeah, so as he drops to a knee and pulls this bolt out of his shoulder, he looks at it, squints his eyes because it's dark. A second bolt hits him square between the eyes and sends him backwards.
Dillinger's
Works for me.
watching Asher practice.
Yeah, and that's all she wrote.
Grog, you're up.
Alrighty. If somebody could move me 30 feet forward.
I got you.
Thank you.
Just in a straight line?
Yep.
Boom.
I'm assuming
Asher,
that
the real
guy
MVP
over
tonight.
there, over yonder, is within 600 feet, Frog.
Which one? The one that's behind your line of sight in the house? Oh, no, the one in the far distance here, this one?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm assuming I'll have disadvantage because of dark vision, being only 60 feet.
Absolutely. If you're doing a ranged attack.
Alrighty. Does an 11 hit?
An 11 on an orc does not do it, unfortunately, as both of your beams just fly past this orc into the trees behind.
Alrighty, that's my turn.
Alright, orcs are up next. The one that's got an arrow in his fucking side, who's currently ducked, will stay ducked and move 5, 10, 15 feet. Actually, 15 feet here. And just continue to duck out of line of sight. For purposes of the table, you obviously don't see where he is. This orc... Wow, this fucking battle music, though. Holy shit. What are you gonna do, motherfucker? You just saw 3 of your homies get dropped, 4 of your homies get dropped in less than 5 seconds. He's dashing and then keeping a low profile, so staying low to the ground. Not prone, but he's ducked. Which takes us to Orc Indoors. He's the one putting his trousers on. He honestly doesn't know what's going on out there as he comes to the front door with a bow drawn, looking for a target, and doesn't see one as he's like, what's going on? Kane, you're up. Kane, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm loving this battle music.
Kane, you with us? Alright, Kane is going to hold his action to see what everyone else in the battle is doing. Which takes us to goblins, which I think all goblins are dead. That takes us to the individuals that we have yet to come across. Yeah, dude, this battle music's fucking tight. The sound of shattering glass can be heard. If Kane was able to... Well, if Kane was here, you would see 2 silhouettes. Actually, Grogner.
Can y'all hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Hey, buddy, it's your turn. As I retcon the shattering glass.
The cavity.
You said you're working with a cavity?
I said Kane is going to dash to the front of the cavity.
Okay. Dash away as you make your way 60 feet. Wow, yeah, absolutely. You just see an orc in the door frame, kind of looking for a target.
I'm here. He sees Kane wielding a sword Breathe the lightning.
Absolutely. Your lightning crackles, and in the darkness, your face starts to kind of just randomly strobe light blue and purpley like lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you with your missing fucking ear and fucked up eye. Actually, that's probably pretty scary, actually. I know, right?
Make a wisdom save if he's frightened.
I'd like to make an intimidation check.
If you didn't dash, I would totally let you. Moving right along, however, as you hear the shattered glass, 2 orc jump out. I'm gonna say they jump out side by side. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They absolutely would see these guys. Assessing the situation and noticing some degree of an ambush, they both look at each other. And they hold their hands together, as you would hear in Orcish. Together. They hold both of their hands out together, and they put their palms on each other's palm. And you start to see orange light begin to slowly grow in their palms. Asher, you're up.
All right. Hearing the glass break and seeing that Kane's about to dispatch this fucker, as a free action, I'm just going to tell Kane to slaughter him. And then move to, like, right here. Would I be able to see the orcs from right there?
Yeah.
And you said they're right beside each other, right?
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to cast Hail of Thorn.
Get it.
Let me link that. I think I did that right. I've got multiple character sheets up. Yeah.
So I get a deck save, is that right?
DC 14 deck save. I don't know why it went ahead and rolled the damage. But yeah. So I'm going to target this one right here.
Okay. I rolled a 21 for him and a 19 for the other.
Okay, then they'll both still take half damage.
Okay.
I have to roll my attack first.
Roger, roger. It says 3 piercing from the Hail of Thorns.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, it's just a D10. So, does a 22 hit?
Yeah, you're basically going to hit anything. You don't even have to ask me that question.
All right. I'm going to use my Piercer feat to, once per turn, re-roll that damage.
Yes, sir.
So he would have taken 10 damage plus the half of whatever 3 is. So 1.
We're actually going to round to your benefit. That's how we do things. So it'll be 2 damage.
Okay.
So 12.
So he would have taken 12.
And what about the bystander, the other guy?
He would have taken, since he passed his deck save, he would have taken just the 2 damage.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to do my extra attack into the same robed orc.
Absolutely. Get it. Yes.
Yeah. This is just another 10 damage.
Incredible. I gotta make a roll. 1 second. Incredible. As you hit them and the fucking thorns just lash out like a grenade. And your second arrow, he's hurting. You can see he has a little bit of a limp in him, like a little twinge, and as he leans into the wound, you shoot him on his right hand side, but he's still holding as this orange glow just grows between the both of them. Would that be your turn?
He's still alive?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I don't have. Was that my full movement? Yeah, I think it was. So yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right, Eustace.
I'm gonna cast silence over the 2 people trying to cast a spell.
Oh, that's nasty.
Nice.
Just turned off his camera for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold please. 24 radius.
Kids love you, Eustace. That was great.
Duration, no sound. Yeah. I know what silence is. Immune. Definitely entirely inside. Casting a spell include verbal components is impossible there. Let me just validate the components of the spell they're trying to cast real quick. One moment.
Like that.
Verbal component. Yeah. So I need to do a what kind of a save? I'm sorry.
There is no save.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Can we get a screenshot of that face?
Wow. All right. Eustace, tell me, what does that look like?
It's just kind of like this. I shoot out a little ball from my hand, like a super mini fireball, and it just flies right at them, and then it just has this tiny little micro explosion, and it just emits this little black glow in this area.
Does it sound like doo?
It's actually completely silent.
All right. You do so, and as that happens, this ball of light, of orange light that's growing, just kind of goes and poofs. They both look around in extreme confusion. They begin to try to speak to each other, but all you see is a mouth movement and no sound. Yeah, so that happened.
And I'm going to move. I'm just going to move 15 feet, and that's the end of my turn.
That's great. Okay. Dillinger.
So I'm going to, I guess, can I see anything from, like, any enemies from my point of view right now? Sorry, I can't open the stream at the
No,
moment.
you're good. You see the two robed orcs that just got silenced. That would be the only clear line of sight you have.
I'll just take 2 shots at the closest one.
Okay. Pew pew.
Yep. If Asher's great accuracy here would bless me some more.
Yes. I have to open your character sheet back up 1 second. I have one screen and I'm trying to run a bunch of shit off of
If
it.
you double click on the title bar of the character sheet, it minimizes on your Roll20.
Didn't know that. Thank you.
No problem.
So your first one was a natural 20 for 28. So that's 15 points of damage. On whichever. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we're just waiting for you to roll the second one.
All right.
Oh my god!
Was that 2 nat 20s?
Fucking shit. Yeah, you rolled 2 nat 20s, bro. Another 8 points of damage.
So give me the full verdict on that one.
15 plus 8, 23.
Your bolts, boom, boom, nail in a thigh and in a chest. You would hear a scream if it wasn't for the silence. He said the nearest one, so I did it to this one.
Okay.
So yeah, that absolutely. They both look in severely critical condition.
Like they'd have the red outline on it.
Yeah.
And that's what you wrote for me.
All right, groggy.
I'm assuming I don't have disadvantage anymore. Because I'm within 60 feet.
Oh yeah, if you're within 60 feet, then yeah, I don't see why. Yeah, you're perfect.
Okay, dope. Then Eldritch Blast at each of them.
And just for the record, you guys don't have to ask me those questions. If you know that's what it is, it's fine. You don't have to verify with me. I trust you guys.
Well, I can't see the table.
Good call. Well done. A 14 does hit.
Alrighty, then 6 points of damage.
And this is the one on the left, right?
Yeah.
Boom! As an Eldritch Blast kicks him back on the belly. When he kind of like, almost like you punched him in the gut as he leans forward. Would that be your turn?
Yes, it would.
Orc's turn. My dog is excited. This orc is going to drop his bow and run as he unsheathes his weapon, jumps up on the banister, and comes down on Kane. With a 15 to hit.
A 15 misses.
Misses as you raise your crackly lightning sword up to make a solid block. That would take us to Kane. Actually, no, it wouldn't. I'm sorry. I got other orcs here. And he'll lean to peek around the corner and see those two getting fucked up. This one out here dives into the tree line and off the table. Now it's Kane's turn.
Alright. Kane's gonna attack the orc that just attacked him.
With a 10, unfortunately, as you counter his block, as you block and swing, he leans to the side and parries your weapon.
Kane, another attack. 16.
As he parries the weapon, you kind of flip around and come in with a thrust stab, and you nail him square in the belly. 12 damage. He is severely injured as begins to kind of bleed on your blade. The lightning that wraps around your blade kind of boils the blood, and you could see it kind of popping here and there. Still alive, though.
That is Kane's turn.
Yeah, this orc is barely standing. As it is the robed orc's turn. I am going to do a wisdom real quick with these guys. See if they know what the fuck happened to them. Alright. These guys really don't like you. They move their full movement away, and they're trying to talk. And once they start to hear their audio, they turn and each open up their palms. Both of them individually do this interesting hand movement, and they throw out these blades that seem to shimmer and shine. Rather, I'm sorry, hammers that shimmer and shine. Spiritual weapon will attack Asher first.
It would have disadvantage since I'm invisible.
Oh, that's right. Why would he even target you? He can't even see you to target you. So I apologize. He's going to go to the only other target he sees then. I apologize. It'll go to Grognar. It doesn't matter because I missed anyway with a 9. Have a good night, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
All good. This is what I live for.
The first one fucking biffed it, but the second one will absolutely critical miss and swing through you, but do no damage. That takes us now to Asher.
All right. I'm assuming I can't see them anymore since I was just barely able to see them from around the corner.
9:30. Correct. I mean, you could just take a 5-foot step to your left and you'll be able to see them. Like I said, I trust you guys. You guys, if you can see logic, if you can see the logic in it, you don't have to ask me for that kind of stuff. But you're good.
And I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns one more time. You want me to link it again?
Nope. I know how it works now.
All right. And I'm going to attack that left one again, the same one I attacked before.
What's your DC check?
It's a DC 14 for both of them. It's a hit. 24 to hit.
They both fail, and that absolutely hits.
So okay, the main one takes 10 points of damage, and then the second guy takes 3 points of damage.
So, because you did 7. Okay, I see what you did there. Yeah. All right, cool. So 10 points.
And then, is that left one still standing?
Fucking barely. You can see him really catering to that latest arrow you just threw on him.
All right, I'll follow up with my extra attack, sending one last one into him.
Get it.
15.
A 15 is still good to hit.
All right. for 8 points of damage.
It absolutely takes him down as he has 4 arrows in him, roughly. He just drops as if he got shot by a machine gun.
All right. And then
And that also takes away a spiritual weapon.
seeing that there's this cone here that is some fuckery, I am just going to. I'm gonna move to right there, but not get within it, and just chill there. That's my turn.
You got it. Eustace.
I'm going to pop over here and gonna fireball or firebolt with disadvantage on the other robed orc.
Okay. Whoa.
12.
A 12 on the robed orc does make contact.
12 damage.
You said how much?
12 fire damage.
How do you destroy that robed orc?
I just send out about a half a foot ball, and it just travels right through him.
Drops to the floor like a sack of potatoes.
That's the end of my turn.
Fantastic. That brings us to Dillinger. You see the orc fighting Kane, and that's the only target you would see.
All right, let's back up Kane then.
All right, send your shots. It is kind of behind a little corner. I'm going to give you a -2 to your attack because that would be fair.
Would I be able to move at all
Yeah.
within like 15 feet and get better shot?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Straight rolls now.
Okay. All right, I'll do that then. If you don't mind, Ash.
I got you, buddy.
A 10 won't cut it. But a second shot will. Oh my heavens.
26.
Damage, please. Dillinger, how do you end the one that Kane is fighting? Dillinger.
Muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I thought I hit the unmute there. I'll just the second arrow just kind of flies over Kane's shoulder and just slams into the orc's eye.
Boom. Kane, right in front of you, you're fighting this orc with some impressive swordsmen. As soon as you stabbed it in the gut and it's bleeding all over your blade, a bolt just jacks it in the eye and it topples over. You pull your blade out of this creature's belly.
Just before its last breath, I say, "Tell Gramush, he has a tiny dick."
He gives you a thumbs up as he dies.
I love it.
Would that be your turn, Dillinger?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
Grog, you would be able to... No, that's beyond 60 feet. Never mind. Your turn, Grog.
I just start walking towards Asher, thinking everything's dead.
As you walk towards Asher, that is now within your line of sight. Give me a perception check, please. And beat a 13. Actually, no, beat its stealth. 1 second. Let me roll a stealth for this guy. Oh, you're not beating that. I just rolled a nat 20. So you don't see him. Never mind. But you walk up to where you were talking about.
Well, Asher, seems like everything's dead.
There should be at least 2 more left.
Would that be your turn?
I kind of just like pull out my axe, like, where? I'll like jog. Roll a d2 and decide which wall I follow. Okay, a 1. So I just walk towards Kane. Well,
Okay.
dash towards Kane for another 30 feet.
You got it, brother. Would that be your turn?
Yep.
All right. Orcs go. The one in the trees fucking jets out of here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. How are we going to do this? Yeah, you know what? He's gonna go sprinting. Absolutely sprints. Kane, you're up. As you see an orc, well, you hear an orc kind of running away.
Can I get to him?
Let's find out. You sure can.
I get to him and start attacking him.
Get it.
Shouldn't have ran.
Oh my god. So I envision this. You ever watch the beginning of Scream 1 where the chick's running away and Ghostface is behind? So Kane is
no.
Ghostface right now. So Kane, how do you kill this orc?
I just run up. My sword is just kind of like horizontal, like just a spirit. Just run up and just kind of go like an undercut and just kind of to lift him straight in the back, kind of lifts him up off the ground, and then I'll just throw him to the ground.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And he goes, oh, and kind of begins to gurgle as they do when they die. The creature falls. As you kind of push your blade through it, once again, the lightning bolts kind of reflect and kind of peer through his skin. So it's kind of like iridescent skin, underneath, like a flashlight in your fingertip kind of thing. But yeah, man, he's absolutely dead, and that takes us to the end of that combat. We will take our 10-minute break here, guys.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Take our 10-minute break. I actually have to use the restroom, so I might be a little longer than 10 minutes. Nevertheless, why don't we just move that up to 12 to 13 minutes to be safe, okay?
Okay.
Ribbit, ribbit. I shall be right back.
I was happy to see Southern D&D in the chat.
Who is that?
He is Stephen Moffitt. He is when I did that Sunday one shot, he was the DM. We actually got like over 20,000, like 28,000 views on that video.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, he has like over 5,000, like close to like 10,000, between 5 and 10,000 followers on TikTok.
Cool.
He has like, whenever he streams D&D, we're looking at like consistent view, like people just there, 500 people at a time, just there watching us.
By the way, I'm sorry. I just want to say, because I got to take a shit, but what I wanted to tell you was this. I forgot to make the announcement that I'm going to be transitioning the YouTube channel over to Twitch, just so you guys are aware. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great DM. The video of our Sunday one shot should be up on his YouTube page.
Send me a link. I want to see what his style is. I got to use the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't able to watch it because I was at work. But so that was a fun round of combat.
Yeah, that silent spell was supposed to be safe for the hag.
Well, what's going to be great,
Yeah. Welcome to the jungle. Here it is.
whenever I take levels in cleric, I get access to silence, so both me and you can silence motherfuckers. It'll be great.
Okay. I'm putting the link in the general chat.
Use this
You'll
if we
see my fat ass eating because I just gotten my food.
Nice. Yeah, use this whenever I get to that. Me and you can make a 40-foot cone of just fuck off.
Yep. And we all just dogpile on top of that bitch, dude, and be like, all right, you can move away, take 6 opportunity attacks to be able to cast a spell that I'm just going to counterspell when you do.
Right. It'll be great.
And then recast silence on my next turn, and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Be careful, bro. I might pick something up.
I'm kind of curious what the damn orcs were trying to cast when they had to cast together.
Yeah, it was like weird. That's why I'm like, oh shit, what is this?
Yeah,
I
like
can't
how
let
you're
this
just like,
go.
No.
You can't let them do that. That looks weird.
No.
Might be something powerful.
Asher's about to go try and track an orc in the woods, though. We leave no witnesses.
That dude's probably gone.
He's only had 2 rounds to run. Yeah, Asher goes and pisses on one of the dead orcs. Just kidding.
No, that might make Grognar an enemy.
I mean, Asher already fucking hates you. Did you not read his journal? He straight up was thinking about how much can he actually trust Grognar now.
Wait, what?
In my journal, I mentioned how you knew Gorbog's name, and I put in there like how much can we actually trust Grognar. Granted, that was a personal thought that was never spoken out loud, but
In Grognar's defense, he did have a point you never asked.
eh.
You got a snack here, babe?
Now we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with all these fucking orc bodies.
Well, Grognar is giving them the Orcish burial, which is burning them.
No, we are not burning them. That creates light. We need to hide them.
He was gonna go into the woods. That makes it better.
No, we're not burning them. That gives off light and smell and everything. No.
I tried.
You can say your little prayer over them, but Asher would stop you if you're like, I'm gonna go burn them.
Okay, then he would just start digging a hole.
No, we're just gonna toss them into the woods. And
With a hole.
no. Actually, I have an idea. I have like 13 goblin arrows on me. And so any of the orcs that have arrows or bolts sticking out of them, I'm going to pull the arrows or bolts out and stick the goblin arrows in those holes to make it look like they were attacked by other orcs or goblins.
Smart.
There's a reason why I've been picking up the arrows.
I have a total of 1 spell, and it will either work or it's gonna be annoying. Want to see the 1 spell I have?
Nice. Well, until we take a long rest.
Well, short rest for me,
Yeah.
because then I'll have 2 spells.
I do need to take a long rest, though. I only have 2 spell slots left. 1 second level and 1 first level.
This is annoying. Why is it saying the spell save is 12?
What's your charisma?
It's a +2,
So then, yeah, it would be 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma
which is
bonus.
+3.
Yeah, so it should be a 13.
Yeah. Roll20 just doesn't like me when it comes to spell save.
Wait, then that's a good.
God damn it! He had a shirt on earlier.
No, I didn't.
It looked like he had a shirt on earlier.
It's called hair.
Take my shirt off.
Oh yeah.
If you got enough
mine's fine.
hair that looks like you have a fucking shirt on,
Show
we'll
it,
start calling
Kane.
you King Kong, you fucking ape.
Start showing. Come on, Kane.
Getting fucking weird. Hold on, let me put my camera on.
You say if it's getting fucking weird, hold on, let me put my camera on.
Yes.
We can do the movie.
So that's when we go, let me turn Discord off. I'll come back next week.
I can pilot
God
your
damn it,
character
Kane.
for you. It's fine.
Don't worry, I'll keep it from.
Kane, you are extremely soft tone. Like, I barely hear your mic.
Yeah.
That better.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, I can keep it just like this.
See, if you're going that, you almost might as well start curling up the sides of your mustache into the evil French curls.
I've tried. It doesn't really. It doesn't really. Oh yeah. Look. There we go. There's some good moves right
And Frog wants this shit to be on Twitch.
Technically, Man Diddy's okay.
there. Hey. It will be called the Man Boop Society.
Well, I don't know if he's gonna stream our video on Twitch because holy fuck,
No,
that would be a shit.
if he's to switch it to Twitch, he'll be putting cameras on.
Oh
Dang
god.
it. I'll have to put shirt
Even-
on.
Yeah, even if he sits there does it on YouTube, he's trying now. The main issue is it's Windows OBS system with cameras and with Discord, and how every time we either turn cameras on, off, or say someone drops on, comes back on, everyone's little squares that you're on for Discord moves around.
Okay. All right.
And it creates issues for framing for saying, oh, this box is Asher, this box is Kane. Though he's working with Fedvin, because Fedvin might have found a workaround with it that has us going through a third-party site.
But hey, I actually want to point out I've lost 50 pounds, guys,
Good job.
in 6 months.
Congrats,
I need
man.
I have went down like 2 cup sizes.
I went from being about 190 to about now 210 because I started drinking a lot more fucking soda recently.
Well, whenever I started my job, I was 400 pounds. I am now.
Jesus. Sorry.
Yeah, I was a fat son of a bitch.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was fat, and then now I'm down to just under 350.
When I started streaming with you guys, I was at 516.
Yeah.
I am now at 443.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
man.
Good shit.
Nice, man. Nice.
Oh, good job.
I was actually going to say, I can tell in your face that you're losing weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. On a side note, Frog, if you had been here about a minute earlier, you will have had the 3 of them showing their tits.
Hey, I never showed mine.
I mean, we can go back to that. I mean,
Oh, God damn it. I'm sorry, Frog.
I'm not pretty, Frog. Tell me I'm pretty. This is why you can never put us on Twitch.
You all die.
Yeah.
You know you.
This is what's coming to Twitch.
So, just to piggyback off that conversation, I feel like I should contribute. So I was 360. I was 360 in January. I weighed myself this morning. I'm 272.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck, you're lighter than me.
I'm trying to get down to like 280.
I'm looking at 220, but based on the doctors, they said they wouldn't be surprised if by 6 more months if they see me down to 190.
So, like, you gotta buy a whole new wardrobe now? Like,
Yeah, all my pants are fucking.
good God.
Can I show you something real quick? This is not fresh. Hold on.
Fuck
Good
yeah, dude.
shit.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah.
I'm about to have to buy new pants because my belt is cinched all the way down and my pants are still loose.
I'm trying to get down to 145.
All right,
See,
guys.
now I feel like the fat ass here because everyone's dropping weight. Here's my ass putting it on.
Yeah,
I weigh 270.
you
No.
two are like healthy weights. We 3 were some thick bitches.
I'm 5'7" at 279. That does not
I have
help.
a fucking
I thought you were taller
gut
than
from
that.
soda.
No, I'm a short fucker.
I have a beer gut from fucking soda.
Oh yeah, Matt, see you in a
Sorry.
month.
So this
Oh, fuck, are we actually doing that? I need to put in a fucking thing with work. I forgot about that.
I'm able to do that trip, by the way.
You are or aren't?
aren't. I'm going to see my brother.
Okay.
Oh, is that how much you lost?
This is where when I start my job, this is where I had to buck my belt. This was the first notch I had to put in.
Good shit.
Hell yeah.
Well,
It
if
had-
Josh, if you're not gonna be able to make it, Casey, just hit me up and we'll just see about you come around any fucking weekend then, versus an entire week.
I feel like
Saves
I'm out of
you
the.
money and
I feel like
you're-
I'm out of the
you're
loop
looking
here.
Like a quarter of a day's worth of drive.
So this is where the final notch is. If I need my pants to be properly held up, this is where I need to put more notches to.
Jeez.
Awesome. Well, let's focus back.
Pants.
Let's focus back up, guys. Awesome intermission. Sorry for the extra delay. I had an
Did we
incident.
scare Fade away?
No, Fate's always there.
I'm here.
All right, guys. So
He's been dead silent through all the tit show.
to recap, so basically, Kane chasing down one of the last remaining orcs, slaying him down as he tumbles into the ground. Kane pulls his blade out with the crackle of a lightning kind of effect on the blade. Dillinger, you would absolutely see Kane just destroy this orc. You have the pick of it, guys. So once again, it's nighttime. It's dark out here. Inside the cabin, there is a light source, probably from a fireplace or something. Yeah, as far as you're concerned, Asher, you're the one keeping track. As you kind of look at all the bodies, you acknowledge the missing one.
We had one runner. There's a human inside, chained up. I think that other orc has gotten probably too far, but I have an idea. Frog, if you'll allow it, I'm going to go around to all the bodies that were shot with arrows or bolts and pull out all of the arrows or bolts that were in them and take the goblin arrows that I've got, the goblin and orc arrows that I've got with me, and shove them into all of the arrow or bolt wounds. And tell Kane to, if he would, go inside and free the human.
Kane will go inside and see who it is.
Nice. Okay, so let's start with the arrow situation.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, roll me a deception to see how well crafted this idea is.
That should go perfectly. I have a -1 to deception.
Whatever, you're gonna roll in that.
Side
20.
note, if you guys have any backfeed for me, let me know and I'll mute myself.
I rolled a 2, but got a 1.
As you're basically ripping out arrows and you're shoving the orc or the goblin arrows in, and we'll leave it at that for now. The number is going to represent how convincing the job was, essentially.
It's enough there.
Well, it depends. You never know what they roll. I could always roll worse than a 1. However, who was the one that was talking about the inside now?
Me.
Kane, you enter the main area, and this area is familiar to you, and you know what? I should probably change the music. I apologize for the delay. One moment. I really wish the music bot was a lot simpler to use. Like, it's easy to use, it's a lot of clicks. I wish I had like a soundboard. I could hit the play button. All right, so as you make your way inside, and once again, it's a familiar location, right, Kane? So you step inside. You have that island of the cooking island, where there seems to be like remains of blood and meats that's been chopped up, probably with little care or little ease. The whole place looks to be completely in shambles. Furniture flipped over. There's some broken pieces of cabinets and whatnot. Walls are not maintained. It's dusty and filthy in locations and in areas. The doors themselves are barely on the hinges, but they're still attached. In some cases inside this building, you would see like piles of defecation in the corner, maybe some what looks to be urine traces, on either the wall or in the corners. It looks like this is more of a squatter's location than a home now. Regardless of which, you step inside and you see 2 doors. You have a door to your left and a door to your right, and they're both semi-cracked open.
remember. Which do I remember being the bedroom?
Both. The one
Both?
the one Thalia took when you guys were here was the one to the right.
Okay, I'll check the one to the right.
As you step around and over debris on the ground, broken furniture, chairs, wooden chairs, what have you, you push and creak open the door. As you look inside, you see a bed, a little larger than a twin, with sheets drawn over it. Under the sheets, there seems to be raised. It looks like the bed is inhabited, with the sheets over top.
Kane will walk in.
You walk in and you hear your foot's, the weight of your boot creaking on the wooden panels on the floor. Slowly as you walk in.
Walks over to the individual.
Once again, the bed sheets are on top, and the bed sheets are dirty. But you do see like as if you were laying in bed with the sheets over top of you sleeping. As you grab the sheets and you pull over, there seems to be a female in bed, not moving. Across her back are welts. Her neck has a red bruise around it. Her hands seem to be broken and kind of disheveled. Her body shows signs of physical trauma. She's naked, but face down into the bed.
Check to see if she's alive?
Medicine check.
10?
A 10. You feel for a pulse on the back of her neck, under her carotid. You don't feel a pulse.
Kane will just kind of quietly leave the room and then go check the other bedroom.
Chewing, sorry. As you leave that room, you open up the other door, and the silhouette of the door slowly reveals this young woman. Your best guess between the ages of 15 to 19. On the floor, collar and loincloths. Chain tied to the bedpost around the neck. And you just see her cowering in the corner in like a fetal position, shivering in fear.
Kane will sunder the chain.
You take your sword and you swing with all your might while the lightning's still active, and as the blade connects to the metal chain, it creates a miniature spark explosion. Everyone on the outside would hear what sounds like a miniature thunderbolt. And the sound of metal rattling across wooden floor as you release the chain. The individual in the corner, shivering, would react to this loud sound and kind of push her way further into the corner as if she could sink and kind of miniaturize herself.
Kane will sheath the sword now. But tell it, it's okay. I'm here to help you. Do you remember your name? And he's not approaching her. He's actually staying back away from her.
All you hear is just whimpering and panicking.
I'd be afraid of me too. Kane just kind of leaves. He'll go out and be like, there's one in a room Alive. Another in the room. She's scared, senseless. I mean, I cut her chain, but
That's the one I saw. Was it in the room to the left?
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get her out of here.
I'm not the guy to talk to her.
So at this point, and let's go around the table here. So as Kane investigates this and kind of announces, I don't know where everyone else is physically, so why don't we start with Grognar? During the investigation of the house and the body on the bed and the female that's tucked away in a corner, where's Grognar in all of this?
I already said what I was doing in
Oh.
chat. I'm giving the orcs the orcish burial rites, and I chanted a prayer in Orcish.
Okay. Awesome. So you're outside doing religious kind of stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Dillinger, where are you at in all this?
I guess I'll just kind of fly towards like the roof of the building, just kind of keep watch. I'll kind of call it there and just kind of be up there trying to keep watch.
Absolutely. Eustace.
I'm going to go over to the casters. I'm going to see if there's any loot over here.
Of course, Fate. Of course. And we'll come back to that in a minute. Before I get to Ash, we know what you're doing. All right, Asher, where are you at in all this?
I'm still. I don't know if I'm done putting in goblin and orc arrows into people yet or not.
You're right. That would take a decent minute or two, especially how scattered the bodies are. So yeah, let's just say you're outside. You actually would pass by Grognar, who's giving it last rites at the moment.
Yeah, I spit on one of the bodies as I'm sticking the arrow in it. Just tell them, fuck them, they can all burn. Metaphorically. We don't want to actually burn their bodies.
All right, I'm going to the Loot Master. Let's see what these guys have on them. You would find a spear, Fate, some robes that seem to be similarly designed. They're kind of a darker purple, with some what looks to be some sort of religious markings. They seem to be very symmetrical, meaning similar to each other, almost as if it was a uniform, but it's not quite a uniform. They seem to just be similar in nature, almost like how a priest wears priest robes, to a degree. So they kind of share those kind of similarities. They all have their own personal decorations on them. They would contain, they would have a pouch on them each. In the pouch combined, 15 silver and like 20 copper and some dried bones, looks like finger bones, a set of dice, which seems to also be carved out of bone, and a gold chain.
I'll pocket the gold chain.
All right, just put 10 gold on that, by the way, as a value for it. You don't know that inherently, but in case I forget later, just put gold chain, 10 gold profit.
Frog, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
While I'm going around these orcs, did any of them have a shield?
The orcs, no. The goblins, yes.
Would it be like big enough for me to use and still get like any benefits from it since they are goblins?
I mean, rules is written, shields are shields, so you would gain a benefit from it, but ideally these are significantly smaller than a normal shield for you, so I'll let you RP that how you see fit.
He'll look at it and just drop it and never mind. It's too small.
About 10 minutes rolls by, Asher, and you're done with your task. Grognar is still in the process of giving last rites as Dillinger kind of leans forward to look down at both you, Grognar, and Asher. Dillinger, you're more than welcome to say what you see if you wish.
I guess I'm just seeing Just yeah, don't really know. Man.
I love putting you
Set
on the
them up.
spot.
Yeah, I know, because I'm half the time I never know what the hell what to say, because I'm just paying attention. Um, so I'm just painting the picture for what I see exactly.
You have carte blanche. Paint your picture, buddy.
So yeah, I guess as I'm just kind of looking around from up there, I'm just kind of seeing Grog going body at body, Asher ripping out arrows, stabbing other arrows in, another member just going corpse to corpse, filtering pockets. It's like, all right. It's like he's kind of indifferent about it all. It's like, it is what it is. Other than that, he's just kind of like watching tree lines, trying to see if he sees any like shadows or lights from afar coming up.
So this whole area is kind of in its own little cove of a sort. You know, it's definitely surrounded by trees. Dillinger's never been here before, but everyone else that has been here before would recognize that this yellow that I'm drawing right now on the end of the road, it's a tunnel, but it's like a tunnel made of trees, essentially. So it's like the canopy's just been cut through, and the live vegetation just kind of grows over the road, and that's the direction of town. So all of this out here is all trees with a road that kind of cuts through. Just beyond this tree line back here, you would see the ambient light of fire, large fire pillars of sorts. But you don't see that directly because of the trees. But you would see the cloud cover and the low. You'd see the fire light itself kind of humming in the air. Outside of that, if you were to look up, you would see stars. Every time it would poke out through cloud cover, you'd see the moon, as you standardly would, poking out through the clouds as well. The clouds, whenever they cover the moon, they glow blue behind that backdrop there. But outside of that, you would hear crickets chirping, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
No, one
Yeah,
second. I'm sorry. I think there's a fire truck in my neighborhood for some reason.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, he'll kind of take it in a little bit outside of like the fire in the distance and the bodies below him. It sounds like a nice night. So, yeah, so he's going. Yeah, it's kind of like panning around, taking it all in, kind of paying a little bit more attention to the smoke in the distance that he can see.
As you pay attention to that smoke, you would begin to hear a slight rumbling coming from town.
Could I like so? Here's a slight rumbling.
By rumbling, I mean you can audibly hear loud conversations.
No, I get you. I get you. I guess I'll just kind of holler down and all stuff to the rest of the party. There seems to be a fire further ahead. I don't know if anyone can actually hear me yelling that down to the rest of everyone down below.
You're right next to Asher and Grognar, so yeah, you would literally be speaking almost directly to them.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's he'll just kind of look down towards them. It's like there's a fire further out down the road. As he kind of like points down that way. Rather big too.
Probably coming to investigate what happened. We need to get her and get out of here. Leave the bodies where they lay.
Yeah, you talking about like a wildfire or a bunch of torches?
It looks like a city ablaze. There's a bunch of smoke above the tree line back there.
Need to figure out what's going on in this town. This might be our shot.
At this point, Grognar, your last rites are pretty much wrapping up.
Alrighty. Well, does anyone need me to carry something?
Can't hear you, Kane.
Can you hear me now? I
Yep.
had my mic muted. There's a dead body in here. And the other woman in the other bedroom.
We need to try and get her out. I forgot how fucking terrifying you look, Kane. Grog, the absolute last thing she needs to see.
Would you like me to carry the dead woman out so you can give her your goddess's blessing?
I'll bring her out. You
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't come
You
here.
you need to stay away. Dillinger, you're fucking terrifying, but cool. I'll go in and try and see if I can get the other girl out.
All right. Kane will go in and grab the presumed dead body in the other room and kind of carry her out.
Cover her if you can.
Yeah. Wrap her in the sheets and bring her out.
As you prep this female, you have to flip her over at some point, and you recognize that her backside looks really bad. Her front side is like double worse.
I'm getting physically angry.
You should.
To the bed or anything?
Say again, Kane?
Is she chained to the bed or anything?
No, she's without shackles. She shows that a red collar mark, as if she had a collar on at one point. If you were to, because now you've seen a collar on the other person, so it looks like there's a lot of chafage and whatnot. But it literally looks like this. It's bad.
Kane will just wrap her entire body in a sheet and just and secure it and everything, and then carry it out. No one should see her like that.
Absolutely. And as you carry her outside, I'm going to say you pass by Eustace, who's wrapping his way to the front now. Eustace, you would see Kane with a body wrapped in a sheet, walking down the steps out of the cabin.
Too late.
For this one.
As that happens, Asher, you get to the partially open door because it seems to naturally swing closed, over time,
Yeah.
So as you make your way in, you'd have to open the door back open again.
I'll open it carefully, and I'm taking my cloak off. And whenever I see the girl in the corner, I'll just kneel down.
Absolutely.
And
so as you open the door, once again, the door silhouette just slowly reveals this individual who's still very much in the corner.
You're safe. My name is Asher. We're going to try and help. I'm sorry we weren't here sooner.
Once again, as you speak, it's not that the lights are on and nobody's home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this perpetual state of dread.
Yeah,
is PTSD, I guess would be a way to explain
she's in
it.
Shock. Yeah. Seeing this, Asher's going to very gently walk over and take his cloak and gently lay it across her to cover her up.
As you approach her, and with your act of kindness, I mean, she has a natural reaction.
It's okay. You're safe. They're dead.
As you wrap your cloak around her, she's still very much in a shivering state, but she doesn't seem to be as loud audibly.
And then as just he's gonna say, "I'm sorry," and he's just gonna gently pick her up and try and carry her out.
As you pick her up, you raise her into more dominant light, and you're able to physically see her face now. She's pretty. Although her eye is completely bloodshot and bashed, she's definitely very much swollen on this side. She shows signs of what looks to be slashes on her cheek. And that's all you see from your current.
I'm gonna, if I can, while I'm holding her, just cast Cure Wounds on her. And just be like, may the Wild Mother be with you. And for a brief moment, she feels like a warm forest day, and and just heal her as best I can.
Where did my D20 go? She is still very much in PTSD mode, but the swelling on her face goes down a little bit, at least enough to where she doesn't feel her heartbeat in her cheek anymore, you know? Her bloodshot black and blue eye has turned into just like a shadow under her eye, and the eye and the not the iris, the white part of your, the cornea, is not bloodshot anymore. But there still seems to be like veiny on the one side. So it definitely has helped. And in her sort of way, I think she would acknowledge that. Even though she couldn't physically manifest the proper way of thanking you.
He wasn't doing it for thanks. But yeah, he carries her out of the house and looks at the group as he's holding her. He's like, we need to move, and then we kill all of them. I don't give a fuck what you said, Grog. I know this is your horde or whatever. We are killing all of them.
Where do we go to next?
We can't stay here.
Can we
No.
leave her with the horses and then head off into town?
That's what I was about to say. We go into these woods as far as we can, and we make a camp. And I don't think she's going to go anywhere. And we leave her and the mounts there. While it's still dark, I'm better at this shit at night, and I can start doing some recon for us, and we can come up with a plan. Okay. And we're taking this town back, or at least liberating the people.
All right.
And I kind of just turn and start heading towards the woods, far, kind of towards like the back of the house.
Okay.
And towards wherever we left the mounts, to grab them first and then head off.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any dealings they want to take care of before you guys head off to the back of the woods area? And Grognar will come to that in 2 seconds. All right.
Kane will stop by Grognar. That's like Grognar.
As you come up to Grognar, you hear the scratching of a quill or whatever onto parchment or paper. And you would look over his shoulder as you walk up towards him. You would see him jotting something down. And then Kane would say,
Grognar, I need you to help me with something.
What do you need, little chief?
A lot of the orcs here worship Gurmush, right?
Correct.
We're going to take some of this.
King hell.
You okay?
Yep.
Anyway, you were saying, Kane, I'm sorry?
Yeah. Let's get some orc blood, and we're going to write something nice and big on the wall for those who show up here.
What shall we write?
We're going to write on the wall, Gurmush has a tiny dick.
You can write. I'll write something.
But it needs to be in Orcish, and I don't know Orcish.
I scribble down what it looks like in Orcish and say, draw this.
Okay.
And say what? I'm sorry?
He basically writes out Gurmush has a tiny dick on a piece of paper and hands it to me.
Okay.
Says, draw this. And I'm like, okay. And I go try and replicate it as big as possible on the walls on the outside wall of the cabin.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a performance to see how well you copy it over?
All right. Here we go. 17.
If it wasn't for it being so dark, some of your letters touch, but it's legible.
Perfect.
All right. As Grognar would return to his journal entry, what would you be writing there, Grognar?
I'll pause from that to write on the wall in blood. I'm typing out what I write exactly, but it'll be Grumush gives and Grumush takes. My children, my weapons. None shall stay where they are.
Awesome. I'm going to assume the house is big enough for that. If you were to write that in 12 font, but that'll be fine.
And then in the journal, I write, Asher, if/when I die, and you see this, it's written in common. I hope you one day can turn away from the path you're taking, as you're turning out to be your worst enemy. You will understand what I mean by this, as you remind me of him.
Awesome. As you continue to jot your thoughts into your journal, you close the book. As you would see, as you kind of close the book, everyone begins to head off towards the back end of the cabin into the wood line. Grognar, reasonably, you're the last person in line, as everyone has moved towards that tree line. Is there anything Grognar wishes to do or take care of before you head into the tree line?
I'll write in the dirt, using my own blood this time, so I'm gonna use my dagger. Or take 2 damage. If somebody can put that on my character, take 2 damage. And I'll write, the one you call traitor lives and will make sure you all die. You pathetic Grumish worshippers. Burn in the eternal 9 hells. Workless sacks.
Awesome. As you make your way into the tree line with the rest of the crew. These guys are all dead, so we'll toss them over here. We'll keep David Hasselhoof here just in case we ever need a pony token. Nevertheless, all right. So you vacate the premise of this cabin and push into the tree line where you left your horses and steeds. Once again, it's nighttime in the woods. The wildlife. You hear that whole quake, 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 quake for those who live in the northeast of the United States. The woods come alive with the sounds of insects, crickets, frogs, things of that nature. The occasional hoot of an owl. The sounds of rumblings in brush and low brush lines around you. Probably a raccoon or a squirrel that you startled awake. Nevertheless, you stand there with this shivering woman in the hands of Asher.
I'll stay out of sight of the woman, knowing that seeing an orc probably isn't the best idea.
Where did Cain put the dead body, out of curiosity?
I figure we bury.
Yeah, I kind of figured we'd bury her once we got away from the house.
Okay, so she's in the woods with you currently. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we didn't have time to actually dig a grave there.
No, you're fine. So that being said, you're in the same area, guys. In the middle of the woods. There is no clearing here. It's just tree upon tree upon tree. It's not like they're touching, but it's woods. So as you stand around in pure darkness, what's the plan, team?
I figure we move further into the woods a little bit, put some distance between us, set up camp on the other side of a hill, and you said it's a pretty hilly area, right? Kind of like
the backside, yeah. So even though it's still woods, it's a very difficult terrain of sorts.
Put a couple hills between us and the town, and then set up camp on the backside of one. And we start scouting out. Sound good to everybody else?
Sounds fine
do
to
it.
me.
All right.
Okay. Pushing through this terrain to get to the location at least you're describing to me mentally is going to take some time. This isn't easily traversable, especially when you're carrying extra load. So I'm going to say it'll take 1d4 hours to get to the other side of the hill. Lucky you, only 2 hours to comfortably and reasonably and safely get to the other side of the boundaries of this location. What's up, Casey?
If the party would like it, Grognar offers to, during the 2 hours they are traveling, spend 2 hours traveling in the opposite direction, like to the, which way is the compass towards town? North?
In this situation, the other opposite direction would be north.
Okay, I'll head west instead and north to give credit to what I said and make a big fire that looks like a raiding party.
Are you asking me or the team? Because I sounded like
The
you were asking
team.
the team.
Let's draw as little. We don't even want to do. I would even suggest that little attention as
No.
possible.
Yeah, plus, I mean, we're already going to make them a little distracted with the arrows and the bodies.
Plus,
Yeah,
whatever
plus what's written on there.
Alright.
Let's once we get to where we're at, start setting up camp, I guess.
All right, let me clear the board real quick because we don't need to draw this shit no more. All right, and reasonably, I'm just going to toss your tokens over here to represent that you're on the other side of that location. As you make camp and get your ducks in a row, you tie off your horses to trees or any kind of stable area so they don't run off in the middle of the night. At this point, you're looking at like 11 p.m. to midnight at this point. Middle of the night. Asher, the woman in your arms, the shivering has, I'm not going to say it's stopped, but it's subsided enough to the point that you can swear you feel as if she's sleeping.
Mm-hmm. And this is while we're walking, or
like, let's just say you made it to camp. Everyone's like getting ready to kind of do their own part. Somebody's getting firewood or whatever, however you wish to envision that.
I would I'd sit her down gently and then lay out my bedroll that I have and set her on it and just kind of, I don't know if the bedroll is like a sleeping bag or what exactly it is.
Yeah, it could be whatever.
But yeah, I'd set her down in it and cover her up as best I can with my cloak and the bedroll and all that. And
you lay her down and she kind of falls into your sleeping bag / bedroll, and she seems like she's still sleeping. She's fucking gone, man. She's out of it. And as she like inadvertently in her sleep, she automatically draws her knees to her chest and kind of wraps her arms in like a fetal position naturally.
Asher's he's dealing with a lot of his own trauma, and especially seeing the orc again that killed his men, and he's seeing flashes every when he looks at her. He's seeing flashes of all of his men that died, and thinking of their names and their faces, and then of his party members that they had that have died, and he's angry and he's sad, and he knows like deep down that like this anger is burning him up, and is just gonna look down at her and just say a prayer and ask the Wild Mother to look after her, and that, one of her children is gonna need her guidance. And then he's gonna kind of look out at everybody else that's working to make the camp and all that, kind of pet Jaeger on the side of the head, and he's actually gonna walk off a little bit into the trees, with the cat with him, and he's going to sit down and pray.
Okay.
Actually,
And we'll come to that prayer and cat situation in just a moment. Eustace, as you see Asher tucking away this female into his sleeping bag and kind of takes his pussy and goes out to the woods, what is it that you're doing during this time, Eustace?
I'm gonna send my owl Eric to straight up as high in the air so I can send control him. I'm just gonna go look at the town to see if I can see any fire burning.
Absolutely. So, you know what? I have the map open. You know, I'll even do one of these Johns for you. And yes, I just said Johns, and I don't know why I said that. All right, so around the town. And you know what? I got an idea. Please hold, sorry. I have an idea, and I want to bring it to life for you guys and give you the mood that I'm going for. Just give me 30 more seconds. You motherfucker. Can you guys see that color?
it looks blue.
Yeah, I'm going for a moonlight color. 1 second.
A really dark silver.
I just see a regular green map. Oh, now it has the blue tint.
There, moonlight. So across this valley or this town, you would see these pyres of fire. At least Eric would. They don't seem to be houses on fire, although the light that would shine from this firelight would give you some degree of detail. Granted, you're 2 hour walk away, so this is very much like looking down into a town. So it's not going to be as clear as one would imagine, but you would see some of these homes are absolutely blown open. Some of them are probably on fire at some point as they seem to be hollowed out and burnt. The town looks to be rearranged and readjusted. Towers seem to be scattered about. In the light, you would see what looks like ants to you. So I'm going to say ants as the metaphor. You would see ants kind of moving around. There seems to be a lot of foot traffic.
Can't make it out so clearly, but there's definitely something going on in this town. We need to get back there.
As you say that, you turn over to Kane. Kane, what have you been doing this whole time as you make camp? Have we lost Kane?
No, he's muted. You muted your mic, buddy.
Thank you.
Quit hitting the button.
He'll have set up his tent. And he'll just have help gathered a few things. He's just letting everybody else just there's nothing he can do to actually help the scouting out the village except so he's just kind of keeping guard around the camp itself.
So you're you're guarding the camp basically, you're just kind of moving around?
Yeah, just keeping an eye out, guarding the camp, making sure everything's kosher while the scouts scout out the village. I mean, Kane's not in a useful situation to figure out what's going on in the village. Now, when we're ready to go in and actually break some shit, he'll be there.
Fair enough. I will like to offer the idea that, once again, you scared the fucking shit out of me.
To be fair, that scared the shit out of me too, because all of a sudden, out of the darkness, I saw a hand grab you, and I was like, "Oh, horror movie!"
I'll never have the hiccups again. Um, so yeah, I will take into consideration that there's no light source out here still, so everything's very much on the dark side of the equation.
I thought Asher was setting up a fire before he left.
Nah, he's playing with his pussycat.
Oh,
Someone else said they were setting up a fire. I thought.
If
no,
we
it's
didn't
not
make a
wood.
fire somewhere else, I would have set up a fire.
if no one else is gonna set up a fire, Kane will set up a fire.
Sure, and gathering kindling in the woods is not a complicated task. It'll take you about 30 minutes to do it. Which takes us over to Dillinger. As you see Asher tuck away a female and walk out with his pussycat to, outside of the woods, you see Eustace kind of meditating, eyes closed, focusing through his owl as the owl skyrockets into the sky. Dillinger, what are you doing?
Saying how we're just setting up, Dillinger's going to kind of go, well, I'm not taking first shift, and he's just going to lay out his bedroll and go the fuck to sleep.
You absolutely do so as you make yourself as comfortable as possible. I was going to say humanly possible, but you're not human. Grognar, have you separated yourself or did you go with the team?
I would have separated myself. That way, I wouldn't scare the woman if she and slash one.
Your audio is all sorts of fucked up. I can't barely hear you. It sounds like you're speaking from across the room.
Is that better?
Much.
Yeah, and my microphone turned around. That's my fault. Anyways, I would have separated myself. That way, if slash when the woman wakes up, she doesn't get terrified seeing an orc sleeping nearby.
How
So I'd
separated are we
be-
talking?
I don't know, 60 to 100 feet.
Okay, so you're still in the area. You didn't trail off to the west like we were talking about earlier.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. So as you kind of lurk, breaking line of sight at all costs, even in the occasional peek, you notice that this female is appearing to be sleeping.
I would head over to camp for a second and clean her off using prestidigitation, so that way I don't have to touch her.
Absolutely. The scuffy, dirty marks that are all over her skin, clearly she hasn't bathed in a while, or at least hasn't been cleaned in a while. And there's some gunk on her skin, on her chest, and her shoulders and stuff. You kind of, do your little hand waving, and it just kind of magically just wipes off like windshield wipers.
And I would do the rest for the party and then go back to where I have set up my bedroll.
Absolutely.
And kind of just be praying to Karun.
Okay. So, Asher, as you make your way a couple feet away from the camp, you sit down on your butt, and Jaeger is very much kind of going under your knees, because I imagine you're sitting on your butt with your knees kind of up in the air, you know what I mean? And kind of does that whole cat tail rubbing my ass on your face kind of thing. Take it away.
Asher's gonna sit there and he's gonna be quiet for a little bit, just kind of taking it in and thinking about everything that's happened. And he's slowly just gonna start praying to the Wild Mother and just telling her, I need your guidance and I need your help. I can't do this on my own. I know I have some abilities and I'm decent with some stuff, but I can't keep losing people, and I can't keep being full of rage with what happened, with losing my men, with losing my party members, with what happened with Beaton. This fire inside of me is going to consume me. And I just want to protect people. I want to protect people from what the scary things at night, like I promised my little siblings I would do. But I can't do it on my own. I haven't always been the most devout, and I've turned my back in times, but I just can't do it on my own anymore. And I can't let this anger that I feel keep burning me up, or I'm going to get myself, or I don't care about myself that much, but my friends, the people I care about, hurt, and I could just really use some help and some guidance right now.
As first of all, roll me a religion check real quick.
Just like to point out that got way more personal than I thought it would be. I wish I had better religion. A 12.
So as you're speaking this to yourself of sorts, and once again, I see you sitting down, kind of like your hands on your knees as the cat.
Oh
is
yeah,
kinda...
very much. Yeah, like that.
Pardon me. As you're asking for all this guidance and whatnot, and you're speaking truths to yourself, you see Jaeger kind of 2 feet in front of you as she kind of walks away a little bit, turns around, and she kind of does this kind of pouncing position, tails up in the air, and just kind of launches herself and kind of hits you here. Jaeger's getting bigger pretty quick, actually. And with enough force that it kind of pushes you over. And the cat's just kind of on your face and kind of, nuzzling nose to nose a little bit. As the cat just kind of is like standing on your chest. You do feel its claws digging into you a little bit, but not enough to do damage. But it's like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah. And he kind of just shakes his head and starts laughing a little bit. And he's like, Jaeger, stop. And he kind of starts playing with her a little bit. At first, he's kind of like, stop, damn it. Like, he's not wanting to. And then as she keeps nuzzling him and like doing the playful like claw thing, he starts, laughing and kind of softening up and playing with her back and everything.
The cat would then, standing on your chest, because I still envision you kind of, supine. The cat turns around and the tail goes straight up, literally putting asshole in your face, but then lays down on your chest. For those that have pet cats, I'm sure that happens frequently.
It happens a lot. He's just laughing and he kind of like scratches her on that back hip.
The back hip goes up.
And he's just like, Jaeger, get down. And he finally like kind of pushes and slides himself out from underneath her, but stays on the ground beside her, just enjoying the time with his pet. And he thinks to himself, one day, and he talks to her. And he kind of like moves to where he's looking at her and is scratching her on the side of the head. He's like, one day, me and you have to have a conversation.
Awesome. So, as the night continues through, Dillinger's already sleeping. 1 o'clock rolls around. 2 o'clock rolls around. 3 o'clock rolls around. You start to get tired.
He's honestly laying there kind of debating if he should try and sleep or stay up until dawn and sleep through the day so he can scout at night. But he's gonna get up and he's like, well, I'm a Gloomstalker for a reason. And he's gonna kind of dust himself off and scratch Jaeger some more, and then walk back to the party and just kind of look over everybody as they're laying down.
Well, who's awake and who's asleep at this point? Because I know Dillinger's fucking gone. Kane, are you asleep or are you awake?
He'll end up taking a shift. So if someone's still awake at the moment, he'll try and get some sleep.
Okay, so when Asher comes back into camp, you'll be sleeping at this point? Okay. Fucking Eustace, are you sleeping or are you awake?
If we're gonna go for a long rest, I'll probably be, I'll just be reading my spell book and then falling asleep.
Okay, so let's just say reasonably you're at least awake at the moment. Which takes us to Grognar. Are you asleep or awake? I know you said you're about 60 feet off, but would you be sleeping at this point or awake?
I would have fallen asleep at one.
Okay. So it is Asher. As you walk into as you walk into camp, by the crackling of some small firelight, you'll see Eustace kind of just about closing his book after doing some reading, probably his spell book. Who knows? But he seems to be the only one awake as the fire kind of flickers on his face and he looks directly into your eyes.
You should probably get some sleep, Eustace.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm probably gonna try and stay up for most of the night, then sleep through the day tomorrow, so I can go do some scouting for us at night tomorrow night, and do some recon, and then figure out what's going on, so that way we can move into the town and attack.
Might not need to. My owl saw a lot of crazy things in the town. So there might be another party engaging.
Think they're getting raided?
Hard to tell from this far away, but they're either getting raided or they're on extreme high alert with a lot of people.
They probably are on alert. We did just kill a lot of them. We can't just run in half-cocked, though. We do need to scout it out. We tried going in half-cocked too many times, and that hasn't worked out for us.
We're on a clock, though. Those wargs will come back if we take too long.
We know they're going to be gone for a while. They seemed like they were going to be gone for a bit. But yeah, time is of the essence. But I do need to get some sleep. I'm a little tapped. But you get some sleep, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do.
No. Yeah, he just dozes off.
Absolutely. At this point, Asher, you're overseeing everyone around as some people toss and turn. I assume Kane snores. He's old. Old people snore. And whatnot.
I mean, I snore, so it's
Nevertheless, it's about 4 o'clock, 4:30. It is still midnight as shit outside, meaning dark, moonlight, eventually, occasionally the clouds once again create darker shadows of moonlight here and there. The fire begins to dim down a little bit, and a small, cold chill in the air kind of begins to really radiate through here. Nothing that it's alarming you. It's just a slight degree of uncomfortability. But
when you said the fire started kind of dying down, I'll throw like another log or something on there.
There doesn't seem to be any cut up logs here. It looks like they're all used. You can go out and grab more if you want.
Yeah, seeing that the fire is going down, I'll kind of try and not go too far away from the group to where I can still kind of watch them, but try and gather up some more.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
Why don't you go ahead and roll an investigation? Or, survival. What do I mean investigation? Fucking survival. Thank you.
15.
With a 15, you walk about 10 feet away, 10, 15 feet away, and there's like a dried timber that must have fallen down, but, it's decent enough to use body weight and snap it a little bit. It takes you about a minute or two to really do that, but as you're snapping, you hear ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch.
Can I tell which direction?
Right behind you.
I drop the wood, draw my rapier, and turn around.
You turn around, and all you see is a bare foot going into some brush. Branches are kind of fluttering as if it was disturbed.
Can I tell what kind of foot?
Yes,
Human foot?
it was a human foot. As you look down at your bedroll, it seems to be empty.
Fuck. I'll sheath my rapier and head towards the brush that I saw it running from. Running
Absolutely.
into.
Absolutely. And as chase ensues, as you know, you're dodging and weaving and you're kind of trying to keep up, there seems to be a drop off, and you start to hear
Fuck. I'll head over and look down and see what I see.
about 20 feet down I'm not going to say it's a cliff, but it's a decent grade. You know, clearly she didn't see it, but it looks like she may have lost her footing as you see her lying still at the bottom of it.
I will try and slide down or whatever.
Yeah, you slide down, you know, foot front, you kind of do that whole slide into home plate thing.
And
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Set your stage.
So yeah, you know, you slide down, and she seems to be in pain a little bit. She seems to be favoring her ankle.
I'll tell her, now, why'd you do that? You're safe here. You don't have to run. And I'll kind of check and see how bad her leg is.
Sure, medicine check.
$16.
Swollen. Seems to be warm to the touch.
All right, but it's not like cocked at a weird angle.
No, it's not a compound fracture, but something seems to be aloof. Or should I say, afoot.
God damn it. You've hurt your ankle. You got to be careful. It's dark out.
She doesn't offer any words, but she's definitely rubbing her leg, her foot, her ankle area. She looks to be wincing in pain.
You're really gonna tap me, aren't you? And I touch. I was like, this'll help, but don't make a habit of this. And I touch her ankle, and my last spell slot, 2nd level, cure wounds.
2nd level cure wounds. All right. You know, she initially kind of pulls her leg back and goes and does one of those things as she doesn't feel comfortable you touching her. However, you know, you kind of force yourself on her to kind of lay these hands.
That's what I was doing. I said
Yeah.
this will help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, you know, lack of a better way of explaining it. So, pardon me. The swelling goes down. However, she still seems to be in physical pain, although the swelling goes down and, you know, she's not favoring it as much, but it definitely there seems to be some sort of issue.
Like a physical issue, or she's got like
if she was
some more trauma.
If she was to walk right now, it'll probably end up in a limp.
Okay. Let's not move. We're just gonna sit here, okay? I did what I can, but you don't need to move for right now. And I sit not like right beside her or anything, but I'm you know, within a couple feet, just beside her. And I look over at her and I'm just like, my name's Asher. I understand if you don't want to talk, but I'm not asking her name, Frog. Calm down. But I have some experience with these orcs, and I know how twisted they can be. So it took me a while to talk about it, but it does help.
Her eyes are like opening up and they begin to fill with fluid, i.e. crying.
Yeah, it's okay. I understand. And I just, you know, I sit there in just quiet company with her.
Have you see my sister?
Asher kind of just stumbles. Was she there with you?
Last week I saw her pull her into a room. That was the last time I saw her. She was screaming. She was screaming.
She's in a better place now. And the orcs that hurt her are dead.
Having heard that, she's letting it go. She's now bawling her eyes.
Asher goes to like tentatively put his hand on her shoulder and then kind of just stops himself because he knows what he's can put two and two together of what she's been through and knows that like, you know, I am sorry. I wish I could have been here sooner.
She leaps onto your shoulder and kind of just digs her face into your nook. Snot and liquid just pour down your back.
He just lets it, and he sits there and like kind of like he doesn't like wrap his arm around her, but he moves it to where it's like behind her, like supporting her. If that makes sense. And he just lets her let it all out. But he's not gonna let her try and run again, obviously.
As you debate whether you're going to imprison her, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. As you kind of hold on to her, between the sniffles, the coughs, and the breaths, you hear her say, Hera. I'm Hera.
Glad to have met you, Hera. I wish it was under better circumstances.
You said you killed them?
Me and my friends, we killed all of them.
I don't know what happened. A month ago we had... Things were so good.
Yeah, I actually first came into Beaton whenever y'all were having your harvest festival.
Zine had this place guarded and working. We had a festival and everything. I don't know where it went wrong.
Nothing y'all did. The orcs just made a push and an incursion into these lands. Zine actually hired myself and my original party to investigate it, and we tried, and then we got captured, and we tried to get back as fast as we could. We tried to fight the orcs off when they first attacked, but there were just too many of them.
So you're the ones that were sent out to help?
We tried. We came across an entire orc army, and there were 6 of us. And then we tried to go to Mirladar to get help, and Mirladar was surrounded by an undead army. And then we were trying to come back, and you know the road's dangerous, and it got delayed.
You left us.
We didn't leave you. We tried to fight and hold the town, and we did the best we could. And yes, we failed at first, but we're back now. We're back. We're stronger. And I've lost friends along the way trying to get back here too. But we're here now, and we're going to try and right the wrongs and at least free the survivors and get y'all out of here.
There's not many left. They took us, beat us, and those that were disobedient, they burned them alive. They burned Massimo.
Those bastards. I'm not surprised he didn't go down without a fight, though.
They killed all the men. Public displays. They beat me. They hit me. They threw me on the floor.
I understand. If it makes you feel any better, we killed them.
You don't understand. There's more than just them. It's practically a whole army. There's too many.
We're a lot stronger than we were whenever we first came here. And I've got some powerful friends back at the camp.
You don't understand. Gorbog, when he came back stronger than he left. He's got the eyes of an eagle and the ears of a dog. It's like he's everywhere. He just rounds people up, ships them off to God knows where.
I have some experience with him. He captured me and my men before I joined this group. He was with a mercenary company. He's a twisted thing. We weren't here earlier and we failed. There's nothing I can do to change that. And saying sorry won't change it. But we're here now. We're going to do what we can.
You know, you're gonna die too.
Don't underestimate us.
Your bravery is commendable, but you just don't know. You don't know what you're up against. Orgel, I swear, Orgel thinks he's in control.
Who's that?
He's the one they listen to. All of them.
Rides an owlbear?
But Gorbog, yes, he rides an owlbear. I've seen him feed it.
Sadly, I have too.
Orgel thinks he's in charge, but I listen. Gorbog is gonna excerpt him. I swear it. It's gonna happen soon. Orgel thinks he's running the show. It's wrong. It's all wrong.
Well, maybe we can sow some seeds of discontent between them and start them fighting each other.
You don't get it. They don't care about the squabbles of the rank and file.
Yeah.
It's about the marked ones. They're the ones that matter. They're the ones that make the choices. They're the ones that they protect.
The weird ones with the robes. They can cast?
No, the robes is nothing more than a sect. We're talking about the ones with the tainted skin.
What do you mean, tainted skin?
Some of their skin is white and not green. In areas like markings or carvings, they cover them up.
It's good information. You're smart. You pay attention.
Kind of have to. You never know when they're gonna. And then she starts crying again.
Yeah. Asher's gonna kind of let her cry for a little bit, and he's gonna ask her, "Do you want me to help you get back to camp, where you're safe?"
She takes a second, but she'll nod slowly as she tries to get up, and clearly there seems to be some pain in her ankle.
Let me help you, and I'll stand up and kind of help pick her up and support her as I help her back to camp.
It takes some time. It is a steeper hill there, but it's not crazy. But give it about 10-15 minutes tops, and you're back at camp.
And what'd you say her name was again? Hera?
Hera, Herra.
All right. I'm going to lead Hera back to the bed, to my bedroll, and tell her, you can sleep here. And I'm assuming there's probably like a tree nearby to it.
Yeah, you're in the woods.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pick a tree that's close to it, and I'm going to tell her, I'm going to be right here. And if you need anything, you come get me, okay? And I'm going to kind of sit down with my back against the tree, kind of watching her and like the rest of the party for a little bit. And then just kind of, because I imagine it's close to like sun up by this point.
Oh yeah, it'll
5
definitely
a.m.-ish.
be. Yeah, dawn is approaching.
Um, once she falls back asleep, then that's whenever Asher's going to finally just give in and nod off and just fall asleep and sit down against a tree.
Okay, as the entire party sleeps, 2 hours after Asher falls asleep, Dillinger, you wake up without alarm, just naturally. You peruse the area and you kind of just look everywhere and you see everyone sleeping. You appear to be the only one awake.
Um, I guess yeah, he'll just kind of sit up and kind of just like kind of wonder who the hell's on guard duty right now.
As you wonder and you look around and you take your head count, apparently you are.
Great. um, he'll yeah, I guess Dillinger is the fire still going at least, or
At this point, it's like a trickle of smoke. And it's maybe smoldering embers, but nothing crazy.
okay. Um, yeah, I guess he'll just take a walk around where we had set up camp, saying how he's the only one up.
Sure, how far away do you walk?
Say kind of like 20 feet out from the campground.
Absolutely. In the corner of your eye, just behind some brush, you'll see Grognar, who moves from his right shoulder. So he's sleeping on his right side, and you kind of hear him roll over to his left side.
I'll just kind
Dogs are OP.
of I'll just kind of shrug my shoulders and keep just walking around doing a perimeter, I guess.
Your ankle feels a lot better from since the gopher hole, as you kind of, crackles a little
Yeah.
bit as you rotate it a little bit and kind of stretch it out. But it does feel significantly better as you yawn and stretch. Your wings kind of furl out, and you create this awesome looking shadow on the ground as the sun is coming up, and you look like the bat symbol, basically.
That works. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's just like walking around, just checking to make sure that see how everyone fucking fell asleep. It's like, okay, are we about to get sprung on, or are we okay for the morning?
The sun rises as the morning birds begin to sing their song and chirp. There's slight condensation on the grass and leaves around you as occasionally a drop would bloop off the canopy and kind of hit you on your nose or your forehead. It's refreshing as it's slightly cool, but it also reminds you how thirsty you are.
I guess I'll head back to the camp because I just woke up, start walking around, so I didn't grab any of my gear or shit. So yeah, he'll just kind of walk back towards the camp to go grab a drink.
Kane, as you hear Dillinger rustling through looking for his canteen, you're startled awake to hear him rummaging through.
Kane will get up. What's going on?
I'm just getting a drink. Apparently, whoever was on duty last night fell asleep and didn't wake anyone else up.
That sounds about right.
You would look to your
Well-
right. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, also, why is the half orc like camping by himself? You're muted, or at least the mic's not picking you up. Nope, still nothing.
Still can't hear me? Check, check.
Yep.
1, 2.
Can hear you now. Yep.
I don't know why he's just off camping by himself. It might be the way Asher's been treating him lately.
You look around, and as you say Asher's name, you look at Asher's sleeping bag and realize that he's not in it. You actually see him leaning up against a tree sleeping, and in his bed, so to speak, is a human female, older teenager.
Um. So Dillinger's going to kind of look over and kind of like summon Tinte. It's like and kind of point to Asher. It's like Tinte, curly Q. As Tinte goes over while Asher's asleep and just literally draws a giant curly mustache and evil goatee on him while he's asleep.
Amazing. Performance check, please.
Yeah. So can roll that for me.
I gotta see this shit.
What's bad is I have to roll this against myself.
If it helps, Tinte is a proficient in stealth.
It helps. It helps.
To help not help keep
Dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's a fucking work of art. You got details. You even give him the curly fucking Q mustache, you know, the Captain Hooks on the side. You gave him a fucking monocle and it goes down, and the fucking devil beard.
On
Didn't
top
even,
of the beard Asher already has.
yeah, doesn't even move a muscle, man. In fact, at one point, Asher goes, and you fill in one of his teeth black.
All right. It's like, there we go. Maybe that will get him to line up a little bit. So he's summons Tente back to him, and Tente just starts following him around again.
Amazing. As Dillinger is holding back his laughter, and he's kind of doing one of those. Eustace, you would hear the sounds of biting of bottom lip as he's trying to fight back laughter. You would wake up. Or Eustace. I don't know if I said Fate or Eustace. Can you hear me, Fate?
Yep.
You wake up to hear laughter.
What's everybody doing?
Easily looking to your left, you would see Asher sporting graffiti.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Huh? Hey, we found him like that.
Oh,
You
up?
motherfuckers
You
are
ready
gonna
to
get
go?
Grognar blamed for this shit.
Asher's gonna blame you regardless. He kind of hates you right now if you haven't figured out yet.
Yeah. Eustace is waking up there.
Racist.
Dillard's going to walk back towards Grog's little mini camp and check on Grog.
Sure thing. As you kneel down next to Grog, he seems to be tossing again and turning a little bit there. I'm going to reasonably say, Grognar, you get woken up by the sounds of shuffling leaves near you.
Oh, hello there, Dillinger. How goes it?
He goes to like a hard pause and just stares at you. He's like, "You just used my name."
No, I didn't, Bowman. You're crazy.
He just
Must have
kinda-
been your imagination.
No.
That wasn't character.
Dillinger's like kind of like caught off guard by the fact Grog just called him by name and just goes into like a dead pause, not sure what to do now.
He would get up and start putting on his half plate, and funnily enough, something that's never been seen by anyone yet, because Grognar tends to be one of the people not checked on. You would see 6 scars that look in the pattern of a book on his right pec and shoulder.
Well, that's an interesting scar.
Yeah, I got it when I found a book.
A
Kinda,
book
the book
gave you the scar.
disappears. Yes. When the book disappears, it softly glows a little bit. It's why I wear robes.
Who am I to judge by the one I was raised by? Whatever.
Anyways, are we heading out now to kill some assholes?
Yeah. Though, if Asher, when Asher wakes up, forewarn, if he asks any questions, just say it was Eustace.
Oh, Magic Man. Okay, I'll blame Magic Man. Anyways, since you said something happened to Asher, I'll start heading to the town now, and start some early scouting. Because I will be blamed or shot, both. And old man will be able to make sure he doesn't do the second thing. And Grognar walks off.
As you walk off, I'm going to say, for the sake of where we are, Asher, after about another extra hour or so and everyone's mingling, you wake up. Everyone gains the benefits of a long rest.
Okay.
And I think that would be a great strategic place to curtain call for this session, because I have a feeling next session might be very bloody. So yeah, I don't want to start something and not be able to finish it. So I think now would be a great place to be, guys.
Damn it, we have to wait a week or 2 weeks for his reaction.
If anyone in the party comes close to dying, Grognar is going to jump in the way and protect them no matter what. Like, you guys are surviving. If that's the one way Grognar gets some salvation for some of the orcs, he's gonna take it.
So I'm gonna ask
At
you
least
guys.
the children.
I'm gonna ask you guys to turn off your initiatives right quick. And let me kill the stream real quick, and we'll do our after action, and then we will let you all go. Give me 1 second here. Everyone watching, thanks so much. Same time not next week, but the week following.